Tigers in town. And for the Orioles, it was a good set against Jimmy Leland's team. The Orioles took the series, winning a couple. But in the long run, it's been the Tigers. They are back. Alfredo Simon is on the mound. Can the Orioles duplicate what they did in that opening set? We're about to find out. First of 3 from Camden Yards. It's the Orioles on Massett, and a glorious night here at Oriole Park at Camden Yards with some great blue skies above and the Detroit Tigers in town for the first of 3. Welcome, everybody. For the Tigers, every game from now on out matters because Detroit, they are leading in their division, looking for a win, but they've got a 3-team race going over there. So these are big games for the Detroit Tigers, and the Orioles, again, an opportunity to have something to say after splitting the series or trying to against the Chicago White Sox. Well, this time of year is when you get some magic numbers going for individual players. And for Nick Markakis, the magic numbers are coming in 3s. Take a look at Nick. July 15, 1,000th career hit put up on the board. No small number for the right fielder who still has a long way to go in his career. Take that ball and take it home. And then last night for Nick Markakis, his 100th home run and the 500th run scored. When you start getting into those numbers, you start having special notice. And that's why. Look at the names that he joins. The youngest to have 1,000 hits, 100 home runs, and 500 runs with Cal, Eddie Murray, Boog, and Brooks Robinson. That is some pretty nice company, Mike Flanagan.
That is some elusive company and exclusive company to be in. So he's about a third of the way there. You figure maybe, 12 years from now, another 2 segments, he'll be approaching 3,000 hits, 300 homers, and 1,500 runs scored. So it all bodes well for the future.
And the thing that makes you believe that's going to happen is he has been a hitter of consistency.
Very consistent, and he plays a lot of games. He's able to stay healthy, and again, that's a pretty good group. Brooksy ended up with close to 2,900 hits, and a couple others had 3,000 in their careers.
Yeah, the Orioles come into a ball game tonight where they're going to need, hopefully, a good start because these guys have had a lot of work.
They've had plenty of work and then too much work. I mean, it is the silver lining. They've done a nice job coming in, especially when you're longman and you have to come into some of these games after the starter leaves early. It means the other team is swinging the bat well that night. It's not always easy to turn the tide, and certainly these relievers have done a terrific job, and if anything, keeping the game close that night and saving the bullpen to give you a chance to win tomorrow. Bergeson, he's been spectacular out of the bullpen last night. He was terrific. Stemmed the tide, kept them close. The final would be 6-3, but you look at the numbers, 4 innings of work. Those are long relief stints, and again, they really helped the bullpen the next day.
All right, we'll see how the starter goes tonight. Alfredo Simon on the mound, the Detroit Tigers game 1 of the 3-game set coming up, and we'll have some great shots from on high. Our DirecTV blimp is on hand for this game. Baseball on Masson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, and no blackout dates. It is a gorgeous evening. Fans of both sides on hand for this one on this summer night in Baltimore. Take a look at our train game time temperature. Visit train.com for an independent train comfort specialist dealer near you. It's hard to stop a train. Humidity way down, temperature 85 degrees, and nary a cloud in the sky. We are ready to go as Simone is on the mound to start this set out. And here is Jackson, Austin Jackson, their center fielder, to lead it off. You go up and down this Tigers lineup tonight. Either you've got hitters on a streak positively or hitters on a streak negatively, and nothing in the middle.
Yeah, and almost like Jimmy Leland almost staggered him. Hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold all the way through the lineup. Jackson
is cold, 0 for 11. And the pitch will be taken inside. Jackson had a 3 for 14 in that opening series against the Orioles. 241 on the year, not the number he had hoped for average-wise, nor in the power department. He'll take that one in the air to center. Jones. And there is the first out of the ball game. Take a look at the rest of the starting lineup, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Dirks, Ordonez, Cabrera, Martinez, and Peralta. It'll be Guillen, Avila, and Betterman. And Miguel Cabrera against the Orioles. He's done damage.
Take a look at the scouting report for Alfredo Simon. Is vote Simon because he needs your support. He's only getting 2 runs of support in each of his starts and score first. The Tigers are 46 and 18 when they score first, so it'll be up to him to keep the Tigers off the board. And then the Camden club. He has pitched extremely well at home, 2-2, but an outstanding ERA, 3.23. And a 5 ERA on the road, so much better here at home.
This is Andy Dirks, who's getting the start in left field. Young player called up from their minor league system for a chance, 1, to help them out as they make their pennant drive, and 2, he's a player in the future. Maglio Ordonez is probably not going to be back with this Detroit team next year. They're going to need an outfielder. Jimmy Leland wants to take a look at this young player to figure out whether he's going to be a starter, maybe, or is he going to be the 4th outfielder. 3-0, and he's on. Oh, Simone missing.
Let's take a look at the Nissan starting defensive lineup tonight. Reimold to be in center, Jones in center, Reimold in left, Markakis in right, Reynolds and Hardy on the left side, Andino and Davis on the right, Matt Wieters behind the plate.
First man on in the ball game via the walk, and Simone will work to Ordonez. He is one of the cold ones. He's 0 for 14 coming into the ball game. Ordonez hitting just .224 on the year, 6 doubles, 4 home runs, and 22 RBIs. Not what the Tigers had hoped to see on the board from him at this point.
No, he's been a terrific player over his career. A lot of injuries, a lot of leg injuries for Maglio Ordonez. So a very quick visit from Matt Wieters. Caught a high fastball, almost caught it on the run heading to the mound. Something he didn't like that was going on.
1-0 count. Dirks at first base has got a pretty good lead over there. And seeing that, throw will be made to getting back to the bag. For the Detroit Tigers, they come in with a 3-game lead in the division. The battle going on with the Indians, whom they defeated in a game yesterday, and the White Sox, who had the series here in Baltimore. Strike taken on the inside corner, 1-1 to Maglio Ordonez. Ordonez started the season out with a 3 for 8 in that first series. As you take a look from on high, what a night to be up in the blimp. We could do the game from up there. Could see tonight. Here's the 1-1 delivery. Judging fly balls might be difficult.
Maybe a little bit difficult.
Not a problem.
I thought we were doing the game from Fenway for a second when I saw that shot.
I think the 2 highest now, don't you? I think are Washington,
right,
and Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh was up there too, yeah.
Pittsburgh, I don't think any balls hit high enough to be over your head in the broadcast. But seriously, everything is underneath you, which we cry as the fielders to be honest, because you have to go by how they move on the ball. And if they DQ, you're in deep trouble, because that deep fly ball to right will be caught by the second baseman
or foul ball
coming in. And won't be the first time. 1 ball, 2 strike count, and some attention being drawn over at first base, trying to keep Dirks close to the bag. He obviously is thinking about it because he's walked off a pretty good lead over there. Count stays at 1-2 on Ordonez. He had 10 stolen bases at AAA this year. Dirks did. Not going. That's going to be a base hit. Reimold over to cut it off and will hold the runner at second base. So Ordonez gets out of the 0 for 14. The Tigers are going to be short a man in the bullpen, and one of the best that they've had. Earlier today during the Orioles batting practice, a ball into the outfield caught the reliever in the side of the head. Albuquerque was hit in the head during batting practice. The Orioles were still taking BP, and the Tigers had come out to warm up and throw off the bat of Andino. They carried him off on a stretcher. He was conscious. Took him to the local hospital. The x-rays, as far as we know at this point, have been negative. But a real quiet moment during batting practice for everybody. That is fouled away by Cabrera. Cabrera's not cold. He's got a 9-game hit streak, hitting .341 during the streak, and is having one of the best years of anyone offensively in the American League.
Yeah, he is, one of the best right-handed hitters certainly in the game today. Always among the league leaders in hitting with runners in scoring position, on base percentage.
2 on here. That's going to be in the hole for a base hit. Dirks is going to make the turn. Reimold up. He'll go to the cutoff man, and a run is in. So Cabrera just keeps it going. The league's 5th leading batting average delivers the RBI, and there's the lead Mike was talking about. They are up 1-0.
Yeah, it didn't take long. A clean single by Cabrera just splits the infielders. And again, they're coming into the night 46-18 when they score first.
Cabrera's been all but unstoppable this season, and a 1-0 lead early on. So Simone will go to the back of the mound just to regroup a bit. Because now he's got the designated hitter. No small matter in Victor Martinez. Martinez with 2 on and only 1 away. The Orioles have seen far too much of this season. These first inning outbursts offensively by opponents. He will take the pitch on the inside for a ball.
And we know that Matt Wieters was leading the league in hitting with runners in scoring position for most of the season. And now it's the Tigers that have number 1 and number 2. Martinez is number 1 with over 400, and Cabrera, who just hit, is number 2.
1-0 delivery to him, and that's going to miss up high, and it goes 2-0. So Martinez playing, even though he's got a sprained left knee. It came during a ball game on Wednesday. There was some question whether or not he would be in the lineup at all for this ball game. He's hitting .320 against the Orioles. Lifetime, 7 home runs and a chopper, and that may have hit him right where he's already hurting. And that was a right leg, I guess. Well, now they both hurt.
I'm gonna say now they're even.
Now you have no leg to stand on.
And we're just coming off that series. We see that they call the dog days of baseball, and this is this time of year, August, when it gets hot, and all of these little aches and pains and bumps and bruises just seem to keep accumulating. And watch that series with the White Sox and Paul Konerko limping. Well, he wasn't really limping; he was just going very slowly around the bases.
Look at the stuff he's got on that leg. He's not only got the guard on the shin, he's got a wraparound thing on his foot, and the ball still found a way to hurt him.
All he needs is a mask and a catcher's mitt, and he could catch. It takes you about, 10-15 minutes to get dressed for the game.
Exactly.
Or the at-bat.
2-1 delivery to him, and he can still hit. Reimold's got to play it on a hop. Runner's going to be held at third by Lamont. And the bases are loaded. And you know the Oriole players and manager are going, oh, didn't we just see this? Last night against Tillman, the first 4 batters scored.
And everything is up. You see this pitch, bell tie in the middle of the plate. So everything from Alfredo Simon, bell tie or above, clearly does not have his feet on the ground. You saw that quick visit from Matt Wieters. I think he's sensing it too. Just everything is up. You have to aim for the bottom of the strike zone.
Here is Johnny Peralta with the bases loaded. Peralta will take it inside for a ball. He's got a 4-game hit streak coming into this. He has had 7 hits in 13 at-bats with the bases loaded this year, including 1 grand slam. He's got 17 bases loaded RBIs this year.
That may have been a foul tip.
Home plate umpire caught that one. Marty Foster signaling that ball hit the bat as he was going down. Jimmy Leland coming out to argue about it, but it was immediately called by Foster.
I actually just first time around, he's saying it hit way up on the bat. That's the way I saw it too. When he ducks, watch the bat head, how high above his hands it is. It's almost off the end of the bat. And I see the point he's trying to make is his left hand going up. May have nicked that left hand.
Umpire wins.
The only thing that works better if you're a pitcher is have it go off the bat and come back to the mound, which I have seen before.
So Samoa with the bases loaded as a 1-ball 1-strike count on Peralta. Peralta 6 for his last 17, down to third, fair ball. There's 1 over to first, and a big double play. Reynolds at third base, Taylor made, and Simone gets out of it. Just 1 run on 3 hits and a 1-0 Tiger lead. Play contestant of the game, Levon Sampson of Baltimore. Levon, you already won $1,000. You get $1,000 every time the Orioles turn a double play for the Maryland Lottery. You too can enter for some great scratch-off chances to win. See how you can turn non-winning double play or Amazing 8 scratch-offs into cash or O's prizes. Go to mdlottery.com. We didn't even get to you, and you'd already won $1,000. Good job. 1-0 lead. As the Tigers are up, let's take a look at the starting lineup for the O's, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Reimold, Hardy, and Markakis, Jones, Guerrero, and Reynolds, Wieters, Davis, and Andino. Mark Reynolds against Penny with very good numbers.
Take a look at our scouting report tonight on the veteran right-hander Brad Penny. Little road weary, outstanding ERA below 4 at home, but on the road about 6.5. And night always praying for a night game. He has had 5 straight day game starts, and he says, I'm just not a day game type of person. So he finally gets his wish, and Penny saved. He's get a little bit extra rest for Brad Penny, and we're hoping that'll bring some of that fastball life back.
He will face Nolan Reimold. Why do you ask? Is Reimold in the leadoff spot? Everybody did, because he's 3 for 3 off Brad Penny. And Buck Showalter said sometimes you just got to move things around.
Shake it up a little bit.
Shake it up a little bit. So Reimold leads off. He has a 3-game hit streak as well. And Penny's delivery will be taken for a strike 33-year-old right-hander who is 1-0 against the Orioles. Lifetime, 115 wins, 97 losses. Penny faced the Orioles in his second start Gave up 4 runs, 6 hits, and 5 1/3, and was non-decisioned in that ball game that the Orioles won 9-5. 2-1 count.
I think that was a home opener 3-game series of the year.
You know it was a long time ago because Brian Roberts played in all 3.
All 3 games. Justin Verlander got his first win of the year. What does he have? 17.
First one to 17. Here's the 2-1 delivery, and Reimold will take that down low for a ball. Brad Penny has not started a night game since July 1. I mean, this is unheard of. He has had 5 straight afternoon games that he started. So he's gone through the month of July and all the way up to August 12 before pitching in another night game.
Well, I would be filing a grievance with the commissioner.
I think that's
5 straight day games. That's not fair.
Here's the 3-1 delivery on the way, and the Lou fouled into the screen.
I know he just said, I am just not a day person.
Then he got pushed behind Rick Porcello and Verlander in the rotation, so that's what Mike was talking about. He's had 3 extra days of rest since his last start.
They're saying he's finally feeling healthy again. Almost had to be kind of a finesse type pitcher through most of the season, but now the fastball's back, and he feels like he's back to that 93, 95 mile an hour fastball. He just wants to do it at night.
Here's Brad Penny's 3-2 delivery to Reimold, and inside he walked him. So the Orioles get a leadoff walk.
Let's take a look at our Nissan defense tonight for the Tigers. Dirks will be in left, Jackson in center, Maglio Ordonez, the veteran, will be in right. Betterment and Peralta on the left, Carlos Guillen and Miguel Cabrera on the right side. Al Avila, the starting all-star catcher behind the plate, catching Brad Penny tonight. It's Nissan's bottom line sales event, and we're laying it all on the line. Visit choosenissan.com or your local dealer today.
Here is J.J. Ruth Hardy. And the pitch to him will be taken for a strike. He is 4 for 9 lifetime. Off Penny, looking down to Willie Randolph. See whether or not Reimold might be going here. Nolan hasn't run a lot this year, only 1 for 3. But he's got a real good lead over there off Penny. This is a tough catcher to run on. Avila's thrown out 35% of base stealers. He's not far behind Matt Wieters, who's at 40%. Base stealers, though, are 12 for 17 against Penny.
Avila's having just a terrific year behind the plate. I guess you have the number 1, number 2 best catchers statistically and defensively in the American League. It's playing tonight.
In the air, left field, it is way back, and goodbye, home run! The Babe has done it again. Hardy with a 2 RBI homer, and the Orioles go on top 2-1.
Even he has the smile on his face on this one. Misses the spot badly, down and in, right in the sweet spot. And we've seen it many times. There's that low line drive into the left center field stands.
Amazing. The season of J.J. Hardy continues. It was Ozzie Guillen here in the last series that threw out the J.J. Ruth Hardy nickname, and he's living up to it. Here's Nick Markakis. Nick with a strike on him. Home run number 11, picked up in the ball game last night. He now has a 5-game hit streak. That's the 14th home run hit against Penny, and 10 of the 14 have been hit by right-handers. Markakis, a 1-1 delivery to him. He'll take that to center field. Jackson back. Markakis retired.
Well, didn't miss that by much either, so he always making good contact against Brad Penny.
Penny has lost his last 3 starts. Texas, the Angels, and Minnesota. The middle game against the Angels, he lasted only 3 1/3 innings. He's been touched up big time in those ball games. 16 runs, 27 hits in the last 3 games. Adam Jones. Adam with that 288 mark and 21 home runs on the year. Home run derby for the Orioles on the season continues as they battle for the lead. Mark Reynolds with 26. Jones and Hardy have been kind of each hitting a home run when the other dies. 21 for Jones, 22 for Hardy now. 1-0 delivery, and Penny down low with it. Not exactly a satisfied look from Brad Penny.
Because I wish I had a day game.
That's right.
All these night games.
Where's that day game? Here's the 2-0 delivery to Jones, and a strike called on the outside corner. He just caught that one. Adam is 3 for 7 with a home run off Brad Penny. Oriole numbers in the lineup are pretty good against him up and down, both for average and for the long ball. 2 ball, 1 strike count, 1 away. Jones will foul that one off.
That was in that start back in April for Brad Penny that Adam Jones took Penny deep. 2-run homer he hit off him in the 6th inning. Really knocked Penny out of the game.
4th game start Penny has had lifetime against the Orioles, throwing only 14 2/3 innings with that 1-0 record. Adam Jones, 2 ball, 2 strike count. Upfield shading him to right. And he will be struck out. So Penny gets the K. And tomorrow, be in your seats early, 6:35. There's a special pregame ceremony as O's shortstop Mike Bordick inducted into the Orioles Hall of Fame, and longtime head athletic trainer Richie Bancel's the Herb Armstrong Award winner. And the ceremonies will be on field tomorrow night, 6:35. 888-848-BIRD or Orioles.com for tickets. Great luncheon today honoring the 2 of them here at the warehouse.
Oh, plenty of stories to go around from Mike Bordick and Richie Bancel's in his, I guess, over 35 years as a trainer at the major league level.
Vladimir Guerrero backing away. Vladdy DHing. And he is struggling here in the month of August. It has not been a good one for Guerrero, and in the batting cage today there was a little frustration showing up, hitting only 143 this month, and he will foul that one back. And that is not where he usually is this time of year. You take a look at his career numbers in the month of August compared to where he is right now in the month of August, and there's just no relationship between the two, and he's just not used to that, and it is a frustrating time for Guerrero right now.
And the thing is, usually always makes solid contact, and that hasn't been happening. He's been getting jammed or hitting it off the end. Usually hits the ball hard, whether he pulls it or hits it to the opposite field, and timing has clearly been off. And like I said, Buck Showalter's picked on him. First time we could really see it on his face after an out.
Sun off the windows in the warehouse, directly in our eyes. It's the first time. Here's the 1-2 delivery on the way, and Vladdy down to third, and right through the wickets. Betterman had that one catch him in that between hop, and Guerrero is on.
8th error of the year for Wilson Betterman. Let's take a look at the pitch, up and in, and just, as they say, right through the wickets. Just didn't get the glove down low enough.
And our Jeep Expo brought to you by the 2011 Jeep Compass.
Yeah, 78th error on the year. They're 10th in the league in defense. I see a lot of their errors on the infield.
Like, where did that go? Here's Reynolds. 2 down, runner at first, and the pitch will be inside. Penny having some problems here in the first inning. Some of these pitches getting away from him and falling behind on the hitters. He's got 2 down, though. Pennant race is underway, so everything that goes on with the Tigers right now really matters. Saw Jeff Jones, pitching coach, keeping an eye on the starter. A little concerned about the bullpen today, especially with their bullpen ace, if you will, in the middle going down, being hit by that ball in batting practice. Jimmy Leland The first 2 games against the Indians, they got short starts and their bullpen was heavily used. And then yesterday, Verlander took him deep and saved the pen. That's going to be into left field for a base hit. Reynolds is on with a single. Guerrero will stop at second base. And the Orioles have their 4th runner on here in the first inning.
And Reynolds, great numbers against Penny, but not good numbers in the short term. Had been over his last 17. And this one you can tell by the crack of the bat right on the button. He is now 7 for 15 with a homer against Brad Penny. A lot of good numbers throughout the lineup for the Oriole hitters.
Now Matt Waiters will stand in. Matt trying to get it going here in August. He's hitting .258 right-handed, .229 left. Or take that back. .232 left-handed, .320 right-handed. The home runs this year have been equal, 5 and 5, 10 on the year. But Matt too has seen the month of August not treat him particularly kindly at the plate, understanding there's got to be some wear and tear taking place on Wieters, hitting .257 this month. In the air to left field towards the corner. Dirk's over and he's got room and will make the catch. The Orioles though come away with a couple of runs and the big blow from Hardy as he put it 370 feet away, and the Orioles get a 2-1 lead. What are very offensive games for these teams. Games in which both clubs have had 10 or more hits in the same ball game. The Tigers have had 27 such games, and surprising to see the Cardinals in that group. The Orioles, 24 such games this year. Call today for the Luna Double. Get your second room of flooring free. 877-241-LUNA. Great shot from on high on this beautiful summer night. 85 degrees when we started. Our DirecTV blimp up there. Here is Carlos Guillen. Guillen will take it away. Switch hitter who has a 3-game hit streak coming into the ball game. The Tigers are 4th in average and 5th in runs in the American League. They draw a lot of walks, 4th most. And that pitch is a strike. Their pitching is ranked 11th overall ERA, 9th for the starters, and 13th for the relievers. So the Tigers winning 62 games and losing 55. It's been about the offense and Verlander.
Right. And at times a great bullpen. Yeah, Verlander didn't count on him. 17 wins.
First player to reach 17. What a difference that has made for this ball club in its drive. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Guillen. First strikeout for Simone.
Let's take a look at the pitch. Fastball. Up middle of the plate. Good velocity. 24th pitch thrown by Simone.
He's got the bottom part of the order. Alex Avila will stand in. 8-game hit streak for the catcher. And yes, his dad was Avila. And he was Avila when he came up. And halfway through this year, he told the Detroit broadcasters, I want to be Avila. So
he's a player to be named later.
So that's why we're calling him Avila. You probably have a right to select how you want your name to be pronounced, as long as it somewhat resembles the letters that are in it. Here's the 0-1 delivery. Swung on a miss. Good pitch down and into him. 0-2.
It sounds like Sidney Ponzone when he was here. It was Ponson or Ponzone. So I asked him, and I said, what is it? He goes, whatever way you say it. I like the way you say it. I go, okay, fine.
You can't lose on that.
Can't lose. Okay. You're Ponzone. All right, sounds good.
Good.
Thanks. Player to be named later.
19 doubles, 13 home runs. And he will foul that one back.
Maybe it's something to do with going to the All-Star game, too.
Yeah. They ask you there, and that'll feel pretty good. All-Star game catcher started. First All-Star game for him. Had an 0 for 2 in the ball game, but he's had a really wonderful season. Leads all American League catchers in slugging percentage. Here's the 0-2 delivery to him. Avila will take it away. And a 1-ball, 2-strike count from Simone.
Originally a 34th round pick. Of course, he is the son of the Tigers vice president, assistant general manager Al Avila.
His son pronounces his name
Avila. Maybe that's what it goes back to.
1-2 delivery and movement, but outside.
Yeah, I don't want to look like nepotism, so I'm going to change my name, or at least the pronunciation.
He's a good one. He's a centerpiece core player for a team in that position. Behind the plate, obviously, as the Orioles have Wieters. The Tigers have Avila. Playing straight up infield, outfield. Virtually no breeze here tonight at all. Still air and a very comfortable evening. We showed you that humidity down below 30% coming into the ball game. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Avila with 1 away. And did he hold up? Check at third. Yes, he did. Vic Carapazza down at third base.
Oh. Is that how we're pronouncing it tonight?
I'll have a plain cheese Carapazza, please. 3-2 count on Avila. And he walked it. So Simone has issued a couple of free passes in the ball game. 1 on, 1 down. Our aerial coverage is brought to you by DirecTV. This season, NFL Sunday Ticket is included at no extra charge when you switch. Call 1-800-DIRECT-TV. I always thought that's a pretty good job, flying the blunt.
Just can't be in a hurry.
And don't be on the end number. Other than those 2 things, it's a great job.
Stay away from static electricity, right?
Do not fly over New Jersey. And the pitch is up high. And again, Wieters is directly involved here with Simone in this game. He's having to go out and try and settle things down.
Yeah, it's almost at 2 occasions already that, on the fly almost, catching it and heading right out to the mound. And both times seem to be an up fastball.
Wilson Betterman acquired this season in a 3-player deal with Kansas City in the middle of July. He comes in with a 4-game hit streak and to help them out at third base. And it will be near the seats. Reimold over, look out. Reaching in, it bounces off some fans and back out onto the field.
Pretty good collision with that wall. The ball and the wall and Reimold all rolling together. Let's take a look at the delivery. The spread finger fastball from Simone. And right here, tracking it, feeling for the wall.
It was actually catchable, wasn't it?
Yeah.
If nobody else is there. Our Jeep Expo brought to you by the 2011 Jeep Compass. So Betterman, 1 ball, 1 strike, runner at first base, and a little further back into the seats.
And Betterman falls into that category of hot. 6 for his last 13. Switch hitter.
With the Tigers, he's been particularly good. This is the 15th game with Detroit since the deal. He's hitting .326 for Jimmy Leland's Tigers. 1 home run, 3 doubles. He's picked up 8 RBIs with the Tigers, 35 in the year. Pitch will be outside, and a 2-ball, 2-strike count.
Yeah, he was one of those young phenoms out of the Atlanta Braves organization. Had can't miss written all over him. Been playing for pay since way back in 1997.
And still trying to find a home.
Yeah, he's played with Atlanta, Los Angeles, Yankees, White Sox, Kansas City.
How old is he now?
29.
Well, still
30 in November.
Got some playing days ahead of him.
Well, that time, what's that? 14 years of professional ball. He has 5 years in the big leagues.
2-2 delivery on the way, and he'll punch that back, protecting a pitch that was a little bit up and away. Good one, but he didn't dare to let go by. So Simone holding the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. This is Simone's first start against the Tigers. He's had only a couple of relief appearances, working only 2 innings in his career against the Tigers. Last time out was September of last year in a relief appearance. Both very short stays on the mound. 2-2 delivery again, and up high, and the count goes to 3-2.
And that's where he doesn't want to miss. He wants to miss in the dirt with that splitter and fastball, not up and out over the plate. So I would say he has not found his groove as of yet.
(3-2). Let's see if Avila goes at first base. He does. Betterman will foul it off. Orioles continuing their long homestand through the weekend and looking to improve on a 2-5 mark to this point. But Showalter continues to have to juggle on a daily basis as to who's available to pitch, especially in the starting categories. Jeremy Guthrie, Max Scherzer are the scheduled starters to the ball game tomorrow night. Runner goes again and right into the hole. Markakis up with it. Runner's going to go to third. Throw will come into the cutoff and they let it go, but not in time. So Avila will get the extra base. Vedovit will get the base hit.
Well, the Orioles do the right thing. They have the right coverage. Hardy is covering on this. He just hits it right by Andino. See Andino holding his spot. And Hardy covering second. So he just hit it right through that right side.
Well, the Tigers down by a score of 2-1, get their 4th hit of the game. Betterman on with a 5-game hit streak now. And the top of the order, Jackson. And a chance to get this game tied up or better. Jackson hitting 195 with runners in scoring position. Center fielder. This has been a tough yard for him in his young career, hitting only 180 here at Camden Yards. Breaking ball will miss outside. Simone will fall behind. Gene Lamont the signs at third base. Betterman, who's got some decent speed, is the runner at first.
And Jackson at the plate, he has grounded into 8 double plays, which is kind of a high number for someone as fast as he is, but that's kind of a big swing. Strikes out a lot, doesn't get out of the box real well.
Betterman has only 3 stolen bases on the year. 3 for 4. Runner not going, and the pitch will catch the inside corner, heading leaning away. A 1-ball, 1-strike count.
Take a look at this 1-0 pitch. Looking for a fastball, gets to breaking ball.
Pretty good pitch.
Jackson pretty much guessing fastball.
Jackson 0 for his last 12. Will foul that one back.
3 for his last 23, and he's falling under the category of cold.
Yes. Another one of the highly touted players on this Detroit team. Jackson with an outstanding year last year. He's got Avila and Betterman on base, and he'll foul that one back. Simone, that was a good pitch. Jackson just fought off.
But already pitch count starting to climb. 95 miles an hour in the last pitch, but already 43 thrown to get 4 outs in this game.
It's just amazing, isn't it?
It's just
night after night for the Orioles starters. That pitch count like a rocket ship. 1-2 delivery. Look out off the screen in front of the Orioles dugout.
And part of the problem has been they haven't been able to use the count to their advantage. I know Buck Showalter talked a lot about it. We've given up a lot of hits, actually home runs. 0-2, 1-2 when we finally get an advantage. And we seem to pitch in those poor counts. 2-0, 2-1. They have good swings, foul off a lot of pitches.
1-2 count. He's battled after getting behind on the count. Davis over at first base taking the throws. Avila at third, and Betterman has not shown any signs of wanting to run over there. 1-2 strikeout. He has just an average lead at best at first base. 1-2 delivery.
And I would say not exactly a Burley-esque pace.
No.
Burley must have it in his contract with the club that he has to pitch getaway day.
And for every minute under 2 hours and 30 minutes, he gets an extra bonus.
And we'll let you ride in the front of the plane.
Exactly.
And beat the horn if you're good.
If you're good. You can have all the hors d'oeuvres you want. 2-2 strike count. Jackson battling. Simone's delivery to him. Foul back again.
And it is a battle. You know, he's throwing a drop down slider, so he's throwing the kitchen sink at him. Jackson's gone into that defensive mode, and again, always among the league leaders in strikeouts.
8th pitch of this at bat coming up. These are the kind of at bats that can spoil a starter's whole night. 2-2 strike count with 1 away. Infield looking for the ground ball for 2. And that's going to be to right field. Markakis runner tagging. Avila's going to come. Here's a throw. Markakis, and not in time, but close. And the home plate umpire, Marty Foster, says he touched home plate. Buck Showalter's coming out to argue because Wieters immediately turned. And this again is Showalter reading off his player. Wieters is not going to argue unless he truly believes it.
Well, maybe that just questioning if he's touching home plate. It looks like he's right on the top of it.
He touched it.
Just question, did he have a chance to tag him? Not sure that Wieters may have felt a little bit of contact.
So a sacrifice fly and an RBI for Jackson. Avila scores, ties the ball game up. Nick Markakis giving it a whirl and a good throw to the plate, but not quite. And it is a 2-2 ball game. Staying at first base, Betterman. And that will be fouled back by Andy Dirks. And there again is one of those situations at the plate where it's so tough for a catcher to know exactly what to do. He's been told by his manager, I don't want you blocking that whole plate. I don't want to have those kind of collisions. We need you on the field. But at the same time, if he gets right into the baseline on a play like that, maybe he gets him because there's no play for the runner to get in.
You can't get to the base, or you make him go around home plate and come back. I mean, we saw, Wieters is 6'5", 230 pounds. Remember the play in spring training? I think McCutchen was trying to score with the Pirates at the plate, and he just held his ground at the plate. And McCutchen, like he hit a brick wall. He just stopped, and Wieters tagged him out, and he was there, well before the throw. So I'm sure it's difficult because it's a reaction.
Yeah.
You're guessing where the runner is, where the throw is going to be. Are you going to have it early? Is it going to be bang bang with catching it with the runner?
Andy Dirks inside, and as Showalter's pointed out, anything that goes to the catcher from the right side of second base, as Buck says, the catcher's guessing half the time on where the runner is because you just can't get a good eye on the ball coming in and the runner coming from the other direction. And you're trying to figure out where your feet are in the baseline. It's tough play. That's up the middle for a base hit by Dirks. He has singled and walked. Betterment will go down to second base. Orioles added another pitcher to their staff today as Willie Ayers was recalled from AAA, 33 years old. He'd been pitching at AAA ball this season. The Orioles signed him up as a free agent. He was 5-5 with a 3.31 ERA in 42 games with the Tides and with Sacramento. He came over from Oakland in a minor league free agent deal August 3rd. You know, Lee McPhail originally signed him with the Twins. So he's available in the ball game tonight. That's 5 hits now for the Tigers, and for the Orioles, here's the bullpen again in just the second inning. Troy Patton up. Ball game's tied at 2. Here's Ordonez. Runners at first and second, and 2 down. Ordonez broke his 0 for 14 with a single. First time up. This is a good ballpark for Ordonez historically. He's got a lifetime .343 batting average here at Camden Yards, and he has hit 10 home runs lifetime against the Orioles. 6 of them have come here. 1-1 delivery. Simone inside. 2-1.
Yeah, Ordonez did a lot of his damage when he was in a White Sox uniform for many years. And Frank Thomas and Albert Bell for a couple of seasons.
2-1 delivery to him in the air to center. Adam Jones, he's got it. So a run in on the RBI, sac fly by Jackson, and that will tie the ball game up after 2. Back, it's the Natty Bo Bar at Camden Yards. The all-new Natty Bo Bar features early bird specials before every Orioles game. Great place to hang out on a summer evening. And the legendary beer is on draft at select locations throughout the ballpark, and of course on the menu with the Natty Bo Brat. Bratwurst sandwich with Baltimore's own Roma sausage infused with the taste of Natty Bo beer. Stop by the Natty Bo Bar next time you're here at Camden Yards. .33-year-old Brad Penny will go to work here in the second inning. Davis, Andino, and Reimold. Davis, 25 hits on the season, hitting .240. Starting to build up some at-bats with the Orioles. And trying to put some power numbers up as well. With the Orioles now versus playing in his 8th game, hitting .214, 1 home run, 1 double, 3 RBIs. The 0-1 delivery from Penny. Is that a changeup or a curve?
That's a big sweeping curveball. Has a straight changeup. Has a two-seamer. A few times to see the baseball changed anymore. Right there.
Didn't like the feel of it and asked for a new one.
Well, I think you throw it for a strike, you throw a good breaking ball, and you change the ball. I don't, one thing the great Ernie Tyler took great pride in. He rubbed up 4 or 5 dozen baseballs every night. Took great pride and paid attention. The pitchers never throw it. They never change the ball. And they were rubbed up perfectly. Take that shine off it. Take that slickness off it. You can see that baseball right there he was looking at. It's just a little off white. They're white when they come out of the box.
You need some of that. Is it still Mississippi mud or
Delaware River mud?
Delaware River mud. Down the line left field, and that's going to be a foul ball. Davis just missing the extra base hit. 0-2 count on Chris Davis. Has been known over the years for umpires to take a ball back, dig into their ball bag,
bring out the same one.
Bring out the same one.
They used to do it to Palmer all the time. They look over in the dugout and laugh.
Just see if they know.
You don't even have one ball in the bag, and then he say change it. You know he's giving the same one back.
No, he didn't do that. Marty Foster.
Jim did it all the time. Jim changed the baseball more than any pitcher that I knew. And he did it a lot of times just to buy time. He was amazing. He'd step up and I don't like that. I'm not going to throw that pitch. I'm going to change the baseball. And Earl was worse. Earl would get so superstitious. If you threw, I would say 5 straight balls with one baseball, he would scream from the dugout, really? Change the ball. That one's just not meant to go over.
That's funny.
And after a while, I started to believe him.
Yeah.
I started doing it.
Hey, whatever works. Off-speed pitch fouled away. So Davis and Penny in a battle here with the count at 2 strikes. Penny gave him slower than slow on that last one. Trying to get Davis out in front of it.
That's some of the Tiger people was telling us that now his fastball, he's healthy again, and now he's learned to come to be a finesse pitcher. He's trying to incorporate power pitcher, finesse pitcher.
0-2 delivery, and that was a fastball. Distinctly faster than the pitch before it.
That's the 97, so he's trying to mix in, and that happens sometimes when you pitch through injuries. You develop a little off-speed pitch, a little BP fastball where you just take a little bit off because your arm doesn't feel that great, and all of a sudden you get it back, and you can be a little bit of both.
And the pitch will be taken down low, so Davis working the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Penny making his second start of his career in this ballpark. Does not have a record here, non-decision. Only 5 1/3 innings worked here. Picked up by the Tigers, free agent this past January. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Davis played towards left field in the outfield, and that's where he hits it. Dirks in fair territory, and will put it away for the out. And let's take a look at our minor league report, brought to you by PNC, for the achiever in you. For Buck Britton, 59 games since his promotion to the Bay Sox at AA, and a very solid .294 average, 13 doubles, 3 triples. And he has 24 RBIs and scored 31 runs. It's some real good numbers that he has put up. Good work, Buck. Brother, of course, of Zach. And he's playing all over the place. Second, third, left field between Frederick and Bowie. He's had at least 4 positions that he's played at.
Playing all around the minor league season, starting to wind down.
Andino, the 1-0 delivery to him, and Robert will take the pitch for a strike. Andino's got a 3-game hit streak coming in, facing Penny for the first time. Right-hander, 1-1. 38th pitch of the game for Brad Penny, and Andino to right center field. Pretty good wood. That's in the alley. Jackson over, and he's got it. Jackson can cover some ground in center field, 2 away.
Yes, and they make up for the difference. They were playing Andino a couple of steps to pull.
Take a look at the Tigers. When they've been here at Camden Yards over the last 2 seasons, Orioles have done a real good job against them, winning 5 out of 7, out hitting them with some pretty substantial numbers and a fine opponent batting average for Oriole pitchers. Orioles much better running in scoring position, 100-point difference. And look at the ERA for the starters for the Orioles. They're trying to repeat that here in this series against the Tigers. 2 down, nobody on. Here's Reimold. He drew a walk and scored. Hardy a home run in the first inning, his 22nd. Cabrera's got an RBI base hit. Jackson a sac fly, accounting for the runs Detroit has on the board. Penny's going to miss down low with that. Very important final end of the season for Nolan Reimold. A manager and an organization watching closely with decisions to be made about next year. Clearly for the Orioles, that's where it's at. It is decision-making time again.
Yep, all the at-bats will be important.
Strike on the outside corner, 2-1. Buck Showalter very carefully evaluating not only those at this level, but seemingly somehow knows about all the Orioles at every level. I don't know how he does that.
Yeah, ask us when we go in the clubhouse.
Did you see that play last night by somebody?
Yeah.
Bowie. I didn't, but play is made by Peralta, and a 1-2-3 inning as Reimold is retired. We completed 2 here at Camden Yards, and the ball game's tied at 2. By Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates. And by Nissan's Bottom Line Sales Event. Tremendous selections, great offers, bottom line savings. Visit ChooseNissan.com or your local dealer. Gary Thorne, Mike Flanagan on hand at Camden Yards tonight. Tigers in town to open up this 3-game weekend set. Simone, a couple of walks and a strikeout. Penny, a walk and a strikeout. Cabrera, Martinez, and Peralta do up. Single and an RBI for Cabrera. His first time up. And now he has a 10-game hit streak. Cabrera second in the American League in walks, second in on-base percentage, fourth in slugging, and fifth in batting average. It's taken away, and depending on where the Tigers finish, certainly will get some MVP consideration.
And usually he's in the top 5 in the MVP voting, and I'm sure Jimmy Leland happy to have him.
Simone came inside on him, top foul.
Yeah, last year Cabrera had 32 intentional walks, led the league, and that's a near record high for the American League. And they went out and added Victor Martinez on deck behind for some protection, so just about cut the number in half. He still has 14 intentional walks.
1-2 to right field. That's going to be a base hit. He shattered the bat. But he's got a single, and Cabrera is 2 for 2, and that's a leadoff single in the third inning. He is one tough out. Cabrera hitting .317 lifetime against the Orioles, and tonight he's 2 for 2. That'll be hit number 6 for the Tigers. Leadoff man on for the first time. Martinez, he had a single his first time up. Fourth in the American League, hitting .319 starting today, and that's a strike. Leader continues to be Adrian Gonzalez of Boston at .348, 11 points behind him. Casey Kochman of Tampa Bay is having an outstanding season. And as Mike mentioned, you've got 3 Tigers in the top 10: Martinez, Cabrera, and Peralta, 4, 5, and 7 batting average. Well, here's a great look at the sunset. How good is that? That's a painting. All kinds of blue sky around, just enough swirly clouds to give you some of that great color. Martinez 1-1. This is down low. 2 ball, 1 strike count from Simone.
A lot of people are wondering where Victor Martinez's power has gone. He's not homered since June 10th. He's gone over 200 plate appearances without a home run. Still getting his hits. Still hitting. Actually, still driving in a lot of runs for actually only 6 home runs.
2 ball, 1 strike delivery to him, and that's going to go to left field. Reimold. Martinez retired. Tomorrow, 2110 Utah Street, presented by Southwest Airlines, is back at Camden Yards with the Birds playing the Tigers tomorrow night. For one low price, you get a reserve Utah Street bleacher seat, the exclusive 2110 Utah Street t-shirt. Space is limited. Get your tickets at 888-848-BIRD to go to Orioles.com and join Nick Markakis and Adam Jones at 2110. Runner still at first base, and a breaking ball in for a strike. Peralta hit into a double play his first time up. Virtually no lead at first base for Cabrera. Peralta has really mashed on the right-handers this year, hitting .330 against right-handers, .275 off lefties. That .330 batting average against right-handers is the 4th highest in the American League. 1 ball, 1 strike delivery to him. Cutter is going to miss outside. 2-1.
I guess that's kind of the irony that 2 of the biggest hitters in the Tigers lineup coming from the Indians from within division, Johnny Peralta and Victor Martinez, who just made an out.
2 ball, 1 strike, and gets that called strike. That inside pitch being called by Marty Foster. A couple of hitters have turned around on it, but he has given that consistently, that high inside strike. 2-2 on Peralta. Simone with Cabrera on at first base, not going anywhere. 2-2 delivery off the end of the bat. Andino, there's one. Hardy to first. Not in time.
This one is hit right off the end of the bat and plenty of spin. Watch this ball take a left, a right, and a left. And Andino can only do that backhanded flip. Looks like he may have had the double play.
I'm amazed they were able to get it that close. That ball was not hit very hard.
No, not the end.
So it'll be a fielder's choice. Peralta's now at first base. And here's Carlos Guillen. Guillen in the air to right field for Nick Markakis. And that's the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. We go to the bottom of the third. Hardy, Markakis, and Jones here at Camden Yards. Switch to Fios, the network ahead. To learn more, visit Verizon.com/getFios. This date in 1994, sad day, members went on strike. Major League Baseball canceled the World Series and delayed the opening of the next season. And a sad day here in Baltimore in 97. Rex Barney passed away as he had battled cancer. And in that game that night, there was no PA announcer. And in 2000, the Mets' Benny Agbayani gave the ball to a fan with 2 outs at Shea Stadium in New York. 2 runs scored. He went back to get the ball, but it was too late. But the Mets won anyway. I did that ball game. I was broadcasting it. I will never forget the look on the kid's face. He was about 8 years old. He was on like the first row of the seats down the left field line, and Agbayani thought the inning was over, just went by and passed him the ball. And then he took about 8 more steps, and the players, teammates were yelling at him. So he runs back to the kid, reaches in and takes the ball out of the kid's hand. And the 8-year-old had his eyes were like, what is going on? You can't do that.
Can't take my baseball.
You just gave me the ball.
Yeah, I remember that camera shot vividly.
That was funny. It wasn't funny for Benny at the time. But here's J.J. Hardy, a 2-strike count in a hurry, and the pitch is outside. And the great Rex Barney, such a great fan and player favorite.
And Rex, the PA, longtime PA announcer at Memorial Stadium, and famously said, if the strike zone was up and away, I would be in the Hall of Fame.
Thank you.
One of the hardest throwers of his time.
2-ball, 2-strike count on Hardy.
One of the nicest men I've ever met.
Yep. He was certainly well liked. How's that for a view? That moon all week long has been shining. It's full now. Actually, we painted that there, and it's
just on a sign. Yeah,
it's on a sign. Yeah.
But that moon needs to be rubbed up with some Delaware River mud.
Right,
it's just so bright.
Because we got some information on that from your erstwhile book.
Yeah, 1921, June 1st. Umpires began rubbing down baseballs, and it came from a farm in New Jersey. It was owned by one of the Philadelphia Athletics coaches, Lena Blackburn.
How about that? 1921.
Actually, my wife found a can of Oriole mud. Brought it into Jimmy Tyler one day. It's really neat. Yeah.
3-2 delivery on the way, and got him. So Penny will get his second strikeout, and one away here in the third. Take a look at our Coors Light Cold Hard Blast last night.
Got number 100 fastball in the inside part of the plate. I guess you'll always remember Mark Burley as he takes it into the flag court. Memorable home run number 100 and run scored number 500.
Cold Hard Blast brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. I did not ask Nick today if he got that ball back.
I did not either.
Ask him. That one's going to be put up in the air to left field, not deep. Dirks is there. And the answer to the question apparently is yes, he did get the ball back. That's one you want to
Where did
keep.
that come from? How did you hear that from the blimp? It just came to you.
No, it just came to me. I was looking out of the warehouse, and all of a sudden the sign appeared and said yes.
Karnak.
On the Karnak. The magnificent Karnak came up with the answer. I held a piece of paper to my head and immediately knew.
That's pretty good.
A lot of people have to go to institutions with people when they hear voices in their head, but I don't. Voices in my head every night.
Just have to go away for a while.
Here's Adam Jones. That's going to be a base hit. Adam got one that stayed up and delivers a 2-out single here in the third inning.
Take a look at the first pitch. Hanging breaking ball up in his eyes. And Brad Penny's lucky he only got away with giving up a single. Good pass by Adam Jones, though.
Ball game tied at 2. Third hit for the Orioles. Homer by Hardy and the single by Reynolds, and now Jones. Vladimir Guerrero. Vladdy reached on an error his first time up. A lifetime .333 hitter with a couple of home runs off Brad Penny. Imagine the havoc hackers could have if they could find a way to get into the ear of all the broadcast announcers in sports hack into the audio? Can you imagine that? So, because I don't know. Listen,
I think hackers have better things to do. No, I'm only
people
kidding.
talk in our ear the whole game and tell us things. And we hear it, but we don't really pay attention to the voice or who's saying. We wouldn't know. I wouldn't know if somebody came off the street, went in there, and started talking in my ear. I'd just be going on and blabbing all the. Be great.
It'd take 2 steps forward.
They do steps forward. Wait. Guerrero with a 1-0 count and 2 down. But we don't have to worry because we have Wayne in the audio, and there is nobody
could get by Wayne.
Nobody gets by the train. The man is big and burly and strong. Stands guard at the door. Nightly.
No one shall enter. And we could tell if it was someone trying to imitate him.
I think we just woke him up. Runner at first base and a good lead over there. Down to third. This time Bedovit's got it. And that will do it. No runs on 1 hit. No errors. And 1 left on base. And after 3, score tied 2-2. Grand Prix Masson 3-day pass winner is Don Litz of Butler, Maryland. Don, you get 4 3-day passes to the Baltimore Grand Prix. Streets of Baltimore at 180 miles an hour when the cars come to town. Baltimore Grand Prix, September 2 through 4. Two runs on 6 hits for the Tigers, 2 runs on 3 hits for the Orioles. Only error charged to the Tigers did not affect any runs being scored. Simone on the mound has a couple of walks and a strikeout. Alex Avila will stand in. Avila drew a walk and scored. His first time up. Avila, Bedovit, and Jackson. 4th inning. Base hit. Boy, he didn't wait on that one. Avila got one right in his swing zone, and there's a leadoff single.
Usually had some great at bats against the Orioles this year. Went back to the first series of the year. Had a home run in each game. Playing the All-Star. Having a terrific offensive season for Avila. Meets all catchers and slugging. Tied for the RBIs. Batting average up close to 290. Big season.
Bedovit now has 7 hits and 23 at bats against the Orioles. And he'll take that one to center field. Jones is going to have to dig way back out of his reach. And goodbye. Home run. That just cleared. And a 2 RBI homer for Wilson Bedovit. And a 4-2 Tiger lead.
This is low middle of the plate fastball. And you can see the heads turn as it heads for the Oriole bullpen.
His first career home run in this ballpark and his third lifetime against the Orioles. So the Tigers, using the long ball, get the lead back at 4-2. That is only the fifth home run surrendered by Simone this year. In his starts, only 3. Wow. They are teeing up on him here in the fourth inning. Jackson gets a single. You start seeing balls going through the box like we're seeing here. Look out.
Yeah, again, he's throwing 95, 96 miles. But see where this ball ends up. Right dead in the middle of the plate. And that is the 74th pitch thrown already. You just, you can have the greatest stuff in the world throw 97 to 100 miles an hour, but you throw a belt high in the middle of the plate, they're going to hit it hard. Hitters are just too good.
So Simone in trouble here in the fourth inning as the first 3 have reached base and 2 have scored. That'll bring up Dirks, the left fielder. He has single walked and scored a run. Jackson at first base. Brendan Bosch, their outstanding left fielder, not on the DL, but he does have a second-degree sprain of his right thumb. So he is out and on the bench, and Dirks is getting the start in left field. Not clear for how many games. Foul back. Jimmy Leland said before the game, he said, I've got everybody available, but Bosch is not healthy enough for that right thumb problem to go out, and probably an issue as to whether or not he really could hold a bat and swing. Would have to be an emergency. So Dirks gets the playing time, and Bosch here and on the bench.
Well, that's hard to do when you're still in the race and you have to play to win.
A good lead for Jackson at first. Not going.
About Victor Martinez and his minor knee injury where he really can't catch. The Tigers really playing without a backup catcher, so that'll make the manager hold his breath too. So it's those little things that you think about every day as a manager.
Yeah, the number 3 catcher is recovering on a rehab assignment from a thigh injury. He's got a couple more games to play before he's going to be able to come back. So Leland is hoping it'll hold up here. Omer Santos is his name. He's been sidelined for a month. They want him to get 2 more games in, and Leland said he may be back Sunday or maybe next week. But until then, he really has just 1 catcher. Pitch inside, Wieters. Jackson back to the bag.
You can also tell when the team's kind of in the hunt. We saw Dave Dombrowski in the house, and also Al Kaline. Some of the Tiger brass.
Orioles are going to be going to Detroit for a 4-game series at the end of September. That's got a chance to be a very meaningful series for the Tigers. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Andy Dirks. Runner at first base and nobody out, 4th inning, 2 runs in. 1-2 delivery, and that's going to be up high. And Dirks evens the count up, 2 balls and 2 strikes. At AAA, Dirks was hitting .328, 6 doubles, 6 home runs, 20 RBIs in 34 games. Two, runner not going. That'll be in the air to left center field. That's going to be a tough one to get in the gap. It'll take a hop and go up and over. So for the moment, that will save a run on the ground rule double. But that's 4 consecutive hits in the inning, a homer, 2 singles, and a double.
A long succession of poor hits, or poor pitches. Again, up, out over the plate, thigh high, belt high. They're going to put a good swing on it. Need to make an adjustment. Miss. Aim for the bottom of the strike zone.
Maglio Ordonez, 2 in scoring position. They keep the infield back except at first and third. That'll be fouled away. Ordonez has singled. Andy is flied out. 1 hit in his last 16 at bats. Ordonez just 172 with runners in scoring position this year. The 0-1 delivery to him in the air to right field. That should get a run in. Marquez tagging up will be Jackson. Nick's got it. He'll make the throw. It'll come to the plate. Again close. And he got him! What a throw by Nick Marquez. That was right on the money, and Jackson is retired at the plate.
I had a feeling this was going to be close. Jackson with outstanding speed at third base, but this one, Nick had plenty of time to line it up, get his feet underneath him and catch him, and in one motion make this one-hop throw. Nice pick by Matt Wieters at the plate.
That is a double play. Runner going over to third base is Andy Dirks, but on that one play, 2 down. Now with Cabrera up, he's going to get one of those intentional passes that you were talking about. And we'll put runners on at first and third with Martinez coming up. How about having to pick between those two?
Yeah, I guess the big difference is that Martinez has had that power stroke lacking. He's still getting his base hit, so I guess it's kind of which one do you want to have a chance? And I certainly would probably make this same choice. 15th intentional walk instead of 32 last year.
So they'll put runners on at first and third. Take a look at our Dodge Ram Expo, brought to you by Ram Trucks, designed, tested, and proven to be the best trucks we've ever built. Ram.
Let's see a quick tag on that short hop pick. Yeah, again, Boston Jackson easily out.
Perfect positioning by Wieters. He had that leg pointed down the line, gave him the backside of the plate, but nothing else. And for the 11th time, Nick Marquez will get the outfield assist. He's now tied with Adam Jones. Both have 11 assists in the outfield. Alex Gordon of Kansas City leads outfielders in the American League in assists with 18. Strike on the inside corner. Important at bat for Martinez and Simone. Martinez has singled and flied out first and third, 2 down, 2 runs in on the homer by Betterman. But again, as happened in the first, a chance to get out of the inning with a lot fewer runs than it might have been. Double play in the first helped out. Double play here has clearly helped out. That'll be inside 1-1.
I just wondered what has happened to Alfredo Simone's stuff. Last time out in 5 2/3, he allowed 10 hits and 4 earned runs, and now 3 2/3 innings into this. So a little over 9 innings. His last 9 innings allowed 20 hits. Just has better stuff than that.
Martinez 404 with runners in scoring position, the best in the league. Then he'll take the pitch inside. That's one of the reasons he gets to a hitter's count. Dirks at third, Cabrera at first. 2 ball, 1 strikeout on Victor Martinez. Road-wise, he's got the 6th best road average, and it's exactly the same as Miguel Cabrera's. They're both hitting .318 on the road. The two of them have some very close numbers in many offensive categories. That'll be in there for a strike. And Simone evens it up, 2-2.
Yeah, Miguel Cabrera's got the 71 RBIs coming into tonight with 22 home runs, and Martinez has knocked in 64 coming in tonight with just 6 home runs. Doing it a different way, but hitting about the same. Matter of fact, they're both hitting .320 at the moment.
2-2. 10 hits for the Tigers in the game. 2-2 delivery on the way down to first. Great stop, Davis, and he will get to the bag himself. So the Orioles defense comes to the fore. This play by Davis to end it, and the one by Marquez to record a double play on the fly ball and the out at the plate. Brought to you by AT&T, the nation's fastest mobile broadband network, and by Navy Federal Credit Union. A loan from Navy Federal Credit Union makes car buying easy. Visit NavyFederal.org to calculate your payment. With Mike Flanagan, I'm Gary Thorne. Beautiful view from on high. And a ball game going back and forth. 4-10-1 for the Tigers, 2-3-0. Pretty distinct numbers, but not a great difference on the board. Orioles will get Mark Reynolds, Wieters, and Davis due up as we go to the bottom of the fourth inning against Brad Penny. Reynolds a single, his first time up, broken 0 for 17. Down the lines, first baseman maybe, Cabrera, and time to get under it. One pitch and an out. Our aerial coverage is brought to you by DirecTV. This season, NFL Sunday Ticket is included at no extra charge when you switch. Call 1-800-DirecTV. Blimp actually has a screen on the side of it between innings. They can't do it while the game's on, of course, but they come over the stadium between innings. There's a huge television screen on the side of the Blimp. You can actually see the pictures from down here on the Blimp. Here's Matt Wieters. Down low for a ball. So if I go on Facebook and push Blimp, then I would push like. Is that right?
Like Blimp?
Like
or
Blimp?
Blimp like.
Blimp like, I have no idea. People are trying to instruct me on these things.
I know, they're keeping us way too busy up here.
Way too busy. Here's the 1-0 delivery to Wieters. And Brad Penny gets it in there for a strike, 1-1. Penny has gone 3-5 on the road with an ERA of 6.36. He has lost his last 3 starts. 1-1 delivery tonight, giving up the home run to Hardy in the first inning. First 2 batters reaching. Reimold the walk and the home run by J.J. Hardy. Since then, it's not that he's been overpowering, it wouldn't look like, but the results would say he has been. 2
yeah, the board looks good.
That's it.
2 runs, 3 hits, and Tigers with 10 hits on the board already.
Two-one delivery up high, and a 3-ball, 1-strike count. Tigers getting out of a losing streak, beating the Indians 4-3 last night. They had lost 3 in a row going into that ball game. 3-1 delivery, and he got it in his sweet zone, back near the wall, and that'll take a hit off the fence. Ordonez, Wieters going to second, and he's got a double.
20th double of the year for Matt Wieters. Let's take a look at the pitch. Supposed to be down the way, ends up down and in, and Matt just drops the head to it. Ordonez on it quickly, but Wieters easily beats the throw into second base. Low line drive.
The way Ordonez played that, it looked like he thought that ball was a little higher than it was. It almost hit him. It hit at the bottom of the fence as Maglio went back. Wieters gets the double, and the Orioles have their 4th hit. Davis flying out to left field, his first time up. That is up high. Sometimes tough to read on these, especially if they're in the lights and those low line drives. You see where that one hit right off the very base. He looked as though he may have had some trouble following that baseball.
Sometimes the read, and sometimes the legs just don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
You just don't quite get the reads. He was one of the better outfielders once upon a time.
Chris Davis at the plate. Davis slide out to left field. His first time up. The Davis with an RBI chance. Being held close at second base by Peralta is Wieters. And back into the screen again. And 1-ball, 1-strike count. Chris Davis is going to get a long look here at the end of the year, probably with some games being played at third base, especially in the offensive department. Nick Showalter was very high on getting him out of the Texas organization. He was putting up enormous numbers in the minors. Pitch will be taken inside. And a 2-ball, 2-strike count.
You can't help but like his swing. He's played a pretty good first baseman we've seen so far.
368, 24 home runs, 66 RBIs in 48 games at AAA Round Rock. 2-2. For Chris, it's nothing left to be proven in the minors.
No, it's just an opportunity, and that's what he's going to get here.
2-2 delivery on the way and towards second base. Guillen will make the play. Wieters will move up. 2 down. Our Subway game flow. About early runs again. This time against the Orioles in the first inning. Andy Dirks would score in a single by Cabrera. The Orioles got him back, though, with Hardy's home run. However, since then, Orioles shut down by Penny, and Detroit with a run in the second and 2 more in the fourth on the homer by Bedovan. Bedovan drove 402 feet off Simone. Here's Robert Andino with a runner at third base and 2 away. Something the Orioles have struggled getting of late, which they did early in the season. That's that 2-out RBI. Andino will take it to right. Ordonez is there, and he's got it. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base, 4 complete. The Tigers here in this opener have a 4-2 lead. Verizon, America's largest and most reliable wireless network. Summer night here in Baltimore, and good crowd on hand as the Orioles down by 2. Going to the 5th inning. Simone just trying to work his way through another inning in this ball game. Peralta, Guillen, and Avila are due up. 4 runs, 10 hits, an error for the Tigers. 2-4-0 for the Orioles. Peralta has hit into a double play and a fielder's choice. Brings the 4-game hit streak into the series. Down to third base this time. Reynolds right on the line. 1 away.
Defense to the rescue the last half inning, that is for sure, for Alfredo Simon, keeping him in the ball game. Puts count up to 92 going into the 5th. That was a nice play right there. Start off the inning. Markakis in right and Davis at first. Really bailing out Simon the last half inning.
He ends over 2. He has struck out at fly out. He's in a hurry. Andino. 2 down. Time for our AT&T Mobility Trivia Fact. Did you know? Three active players have 1,000 hits, 100 home runs, and 200 doubles in less than 1,000 career games. Active players. They are Nick Markakis, Adrian Gonzalez, and Hanley Ramirez. Pretty select category.
I did not know that.
That's why we show you those things, Ollie. We want you to know.
Didn't have enough time to think about it.
Avila just taking a pitch for a strike and stepping out. He's trying to draw some time here. A couple of pitches and 2 outs. He has walked, singled, and scored both times. Simone trying to have a real quick inning. Bends that one in on the outside corner. Avila taking a couple for the club. And it goes to 2 strikes.
We just told you how high the pitch count was. A little surprised swinging at the first couple of pitches against Simone when probably have him out of the game with 1 long at bat.
0-2 delivery will miss up high. A ball and 2 strikes from Simone. Good ball game to open up this 3-game set. One eye will be kept on the scoreboard by the teams involved in that Central Division race. The East Detroit Tigers, the Indians, and the White Sox. In the air to left center field. He got one that hung. That'll be a base hit. It's going to go off the wall. Adam Jones will barehand it. His throw in. It'll be a stand-up double. Avila's got a 2-for-2 ball game.
He's just been wearing out the Orioles. Up and out over the plate. So he walked and scored, singled and scored. Now, again, that fastball, it's a changeup, 78, excuse me. And splits the outfielders.
And that is going to be it for the Orioles starter. But Showalter trying to get him through this 5th inning, but not able to do it. And with Betterman coming up, he wants Troy Patton out of the bullpen. So he will come on with 2 down, a runner at second, and the Tigers leading by 2. He's at Camden Yards Friday, August 26th through Monday, August 29. It is a 5-game, 4-day series doubleheader on August 27, day-night. You can help us paint the park orange. Get your tickets 888-848-BIRD to go to Orioles.com. And the Orioles go to the bullpen.
With that, Troy Patton will make his 8th appearance on the year. 0-0 record. ERA pretty good. 11 2/3 innings, 10 hits, and 12 strikeouts, 3 walks. Done a pretty nice job getting an opportunity to pitch in this constantly in flux bullpen in rotation.
He had Betterman 244 against left-handers as opposed to 310 against righties. And Betterman starts it with a swinging strike, 2 down. Runner on at second base, Avila. Simone goes out of there, getting the 4 2/3 innings in, but 11 hits off him. 1 strikeout, 3 walks, 1 intentional. Patton's delivery to him is on the inside corner, and Betterman is behind quickly, 0-2. A 4-2 game, and Patton trying to keep it right there. 2-strike delivery. Left-handers have gone 6 for 17 off Patton. Right-handers only 4 for 28. Again, numbers that don't go over the book. But this year, seemingly, that is the book.
Throw the book out the window.
1-2 delivery, and he got him, so Patton will get the strikeout. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. It remains a 4-2 ball game at Camden Yards. With it, and Cook tires. Well, for the Orioles, they got those runs back in the first inning, making it a 2-1 ball game. But the Tigers, since then, have had the better of it, and the Orioles starter Alfredo Simon out of there, and another relatively short start, Mike, at 4 2/3 innings.
Yeah, it was, and a lot of hits allowed, get away with some pitches up in the zone, but it really was defense to the rescue. It could have been a lot worse. To play by Markakis, getting a couple of big outs, and also to play by Davis at first base. The score could be 8-9 to 2 at this point. It's a 4-2 manageable ball game.
Yep. Orioles with their manager Buck Showell in their front office at this point have got to be just give me somebody who consistently can get to the 6th or 7th inning in these starts.
Yeah, I had a long talk with Buck Showalter today at the lunch and just talking just about that. How can it be that it's night after night you just can't get into the 6th inning, and you should be getting into the 7th inning by this time. It just haven't had that growth that was anticipated.
Nope, and that continues to be a problem, and obviously that means the bullpen continues to bear a large responsibility in these games. Here is Nolan Reimold. Brad Penny, the starter for the Tigers, a walk and 2 strikeouts. He'll get the ground ball to short. Peralta, 1 pitch and an out. Reimold in that leadoff spot, 0 for 2 and a walk with a run scored. One away with J.J. Hardy coming up. Hardy in the first inning picking up his 22nd home run and the 2 RBIs that the Orioles have on the board. Since then, the Orioles have not been able to get to Brad Penny.
Yeah, down and in fastball off of Brad Penny. The line drive about 6 rows up. And looks like the Orioles offense was off and running, but that's pretty much stalled from that point on.
This is down low with it. Hardy now has 5 hits in 11 at-bats against Penny. His first home run off the Tiger right-hander coming in this game. And the 1-1 delivery. That will miss to him down low. So the Orioles again in one of those ball games where they have to come back and battle from behind if they're going to put up a W in this first game against the Tigers. White Sox are playing at home against Kansas City, an early 1-0 lead for Chicago in that ball game. Cleveland's home against Minnesota. They are tied 1-1 in the 7th inning. Penny with a 3-ball, 1-strike count. He's thrown 71 pitches so far. In the air to left field again. Hardy, did he get enough? At the wall. Goodbye, home run. Oh, mercy. Unbelievable season. Continues to roll off the bat and glove of J.J. Hardy.
It's to the point you can see the smile on his face. He can't hold it back. You can see the deep breath puffing the cheeks. Head right on it. Just night after night we see that same swing. This one about 3 rows in. But plenty enough. He knew it off the bat that it was going to have enough distance. And J.J. Hardy coming off a year. Had 101 games last year with Twins. Hit 6 home runs.
23 home runs this year. Big Markakis, he's 0 for 2 in the ballgame. So for Hardy, he just continues to produce numbers that are unbelievable. That's his 3rd multi-homer game. The other 2 came against Toronto. Markakis will foul it away, and the Orioles are back to within 1.
Tigers 4, Hardy 3.
Yeah. All 3 RBIs in the ball game, and those, of course, continue to climb for him as Hardy now with 58 runs batted in on the year. Markakis, 1-ball, 1-strike count, hitting at 284. Nick takes it away. 5-game hit streak still on the line for Nick, and more importantly, trying to get that potential tying run on base. Penny, that is a strike. 2-2. Just caught the bottom part of the strike zone right there.
Took a look at 2-1 pitch from Brad Penny. A little expansive.
Right-hander with the count even. They shade him to left in the outfield. He'll put it the other way in the gap that they weren't playing, but Jackson with enough speed to get there. Markakis retired, 2 down. Tune in to the Mid-Atlantic Sports Report Monday through Friday at 5:30. All the latest news from around the world of baseball. You'll have Tom Davis, Dave Johnson, Phil Wood, roundtable discussions, look in at Oriole Park, and a whole lot more. Check it out on Monday, 5:30 to 7, right here on Massive. Adam Jones, a single. He is 1 for 2 against the Tigers this year. 3 hits, 12 at bats. One of them being a home run. That is going to be down low for a ball. Orioles against the Tigers have won 5 of the last 7 that they have played here at Camden Yards. 1-0 delivery to third and foul. One ball, 1-strike count. Adam continues to enjoy Camden Yards as a place to hit. He is among the RBI leaders in home games. Only Mark Teixeira has more. Adam's got 51. Teixeira's got 55.
18 of his 21 home runs here.
And the breaking ball will be taken outside. And Penny has surrendered the 2 home runs in the ball game. They've been the big hits, picking up the runs. 2 of the 5 hits the Orioles have off him tonight. Here's the 2-1. Jones takes it up high, and he gets ahead on the count here. 3 balls and 1 strike. J.J. Hardy hoping for a little offensive help. Word from the Orioles tonight from the West Coast. Jake Arrieta. Surgery to remove the bone spur was successful, and he is expected to be at full strength spring training. That is in the gap and off the top of the wall. He's going to go for two. Here's the throw, not in time. Just missed tying the ball game up. He gets a double.
23rd double of the year. The Orioles starting to get to Brad Penny. And this one, only the height of it that keeps it from being a home run. Just right on that barrel. And he just misses by maybe a foot off the top of that insurance sign. Played well, but Jones hustling into second base.
And now Vladimir Guerrero. Vladdy will try and get him in. He has reached on an error and he is grounded out. There are two down. Orioles potential tying run on at second base. Battling here against the Tigers. They had that lead in the first inning 2-1. Tigers tied it up in the second. Tigers took the lead in the fourth. That's a base hit into left field. Dirk's on the charge. Here comes Jones. Here's the throw to the plate. He's sliding and he's in. Orioles tie it up at 4 and a base hit by Guerrero.
Well, needing a 2-out base hit. 0-1 pitch, hanging breaking ball from Brad Penny to Guerrero. And his eyes light up, a bullet into left field. Thought it was going to be a closer play at the plate, but Adam makes a great turn coming around third. And he actually beats the throw easily.
That is only the second hit Vladdy has had in his last 25 at-bats. But that is one that will tie the ball game up at 4, his 37th RBI of the year. A very quick trip to the mound to visit Penny. Probably just asking if he's got enough to get through the inning. Jeff Jones, the pitching coach.
Yeah, no action really in the Tiger bullpen.
Reynolds, a single popped out. It's a great chance maybe to jump on a tired pitcher.
Well, I was just going to say one of those things. I know Buck Showalter talks about, sense and when to take a pitcher out when you feel like that hitter is just going to hit the ball hard. That's how I feel about Reynolds right here.
Yep. And Reynolds has gone 7 for 16 with a home run lifetime off Brad Penny. That will be in the outside corner. So the Orioles come back, tie it up in their 7th hit. 4-4 ball game. Gene Lamont on the phone.
They just felt that a pitch after we did.
1 ball, 1 strikeout. And that's going to get a short. Peralta's got it and will get the force out at second base on Guerrero. But the Orioles come back as Hardy delivers his 23rd home run of the season. That would put him within 1, and Vladdy would respond with a base hit to tie it up. It is 4-4. 6th inning. Time for our Coors Light Freeze Cam.
Fastball and up over the plate. Well timed by Markakis. Throw to play. One hop hit by Matt Wieters. And just a perfect sweep tag for the double play.
All right, Coors Light Freeze Cam brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. So Simone, non-decision, 4 2/3 innings, 4 runs, 11 hits. Brad Penny, pitcher of record. Jimmy Leland and his pitching coach looking at the lineup card, checking, making a decision on what they're going to do regarding Brad Penny. The Orioles have Troy Patton on the mound. The left-hander came on to get Bedovich to end that 5th inning. Here is Austin Jackson. RBI sac fly, a single, and he is flied out. And back to a 4-4 ball game starting the 6th inning. Off-speed pitch will be taken up high for a ball.
Yeah, Troy's done a nice job in that long roll for the Orioles. Seems like many times he came up and down from the minor leagues as an insurance policy, but getting a chance to pitch this time around.
Orioles long relievers have really been important all year, but no more so than of late.
Yeah, last night Bergeson, the 4 1/3. Chakabakis 4 innings. Bergeson again, and then Patton giving an outstanding performance with his 3 innings. And this has really helped Buck Showalter through some important innings. And this actually putting Patton in a chance to get his first major league win.
Jackson fouls that away. Jackson 254 off the lefties, about 20 points higher than off right-handers. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Battling here, fouling off some pitches by the left-hander. Bullpen action. First we've had Phil Coke for the Tigers. Jackson at 244 last year, 9 homers, 27 RBIs, and 238 at bats. Really only a half a season worth of at bats for him. I'm sorry, he had more than that. He finished up 293 on the full season. And the pitch and a base hit into left field. Well, he battled for that one. He's going to go for 2. Here's the throw, and he's in. Boy, he can fly.
Yeah, watching him all the way out of the box. I didn't think he had a chance. Straight changeup. You can see the grip by Patton. And leaves it up in the zone, and Jackson hits it right on the button. Have a top spin line drive. And thinking double all the way out of the box. Throw a little offline.
Reimold hustling over to get it. Ground ball towards the middle. It's going to be a base hit by Dirks. Jones up there sending him home. Throw to Wieters all the way to the backstop. As Adam Jones uncorked one that went on the fly to the brick. And Dirks gets the RBI, his 3rd hit of the game, and the Tigers are back on top.
He didn't waste long. First pitch, belt high in the middle. Clean single to center field. Jones on it. High throw over the head of everyone and off the wall.
So Dirks goes down to second base on the throw, and Ordonez up a single. He's 1 for 3 in the ball game. That'll go to short. Runner's going to go. Hardy's going to try to get him, and the tag, and got him. Reynolds gets over and slaps the tag on Dirks as Hardy decided. Got a chance on the lead runner, and it worked.
Yeah, nice play by Hardy and Reynolds combination, because he has to make this throw to the outfield side of third base. Watch right here. He keeps his angle, and Reynolds goes to the outfield and then comes back to make the tag.
General rule, runner at second. Ball in front of you on the ground. You don't go. Ball behind you. Got a decision to make. And he did, and he's out. So the Orioles defense continues to sparkle here in this ball game. 5 runs on 13 hits for the Tigers. 4 runs, 7 hits for the Orioles.
Yeah, cutting down a run at the plate and a run at third base.
Miguel Cabrera. Ordonez on at first base on the fielder's choice. Cabrera 2 hits and an intentional walk. Cabrera this year now with 5 hits in 12 at bats against the Orioles and 1 home run. He has a 10-game hit streak currently. 1 ball, 1 strike delivery to him. Cabrera fouls it back off the handle.
I think Cabrera's done most of his damage against right-handed pitching on the year. Only 5 of his 22 home runs against lefties. And actually only about 30 points higher against right-handers.
1-2 delivery to him, and did he go? Nope. Welke down at first base, saying he did not go around. Two balls, 2 strikes. Tigers get a run in here in the 6th inning. And now looking over to the dugout, home plate umpire and Buck Showalter. Marty Foster. Here's the 2-2 delivery, and it'll be in the hole. And Hardy's got it and gets the out. Oh, man. Is there anything he's not going to do this year?
I mean, this is full extension. This ball is crushed towards, and just in the webbing of the glove, enough presence to make the accurate throw to Andino. Full extension. Ball was by him. Another nice defensive play. 2 in a row by Hardy.
Gets the out at third, getting Dirks, who took off, in front of him, and then gets the fielder's choice to get Ordonez at second with Cabrera on at first.
So he's what, knocked in 3 and saved 3 more, at least.
Here's Victor Martinez, and he will take it inside for a ball. Martinez a single. 1 for 3. Davis made a fine play on him defensively to end the 4th inning. And he grounded down to first. Martinez 298 off lefties, 326 off right-handers. The 1-0 delivery to him, and on the inside corner for a strike. The Tigers could easily have 8-9 runs in this ball game, but for the defense of the Orioles. That's why, even though they've got 13 hits, they have been able to push only 5 across. Hardy, Reynolds combining in this inning. Markakis getting it out at the plate. Davis over at first with a fine stop the last time Martinez was up. 1-1 delivery on the way, went outside and missed 2-1.
It's about pitching and defense. Tonight it's about defense.
Patton, Cabrera doesn't even take a lead at first. He's literally less than a step off the bag.
Seems to be stretching his hamstring a little as we watch.
He's got 1 stolen base. He's 1 for 2.
Caught once. Sneaky runner.
Down to third and a foul ball. Take a look at our game flow. It is brought to you by Captain Morgan. Win a VIP baseball experience presented by Captain Morgan. Go to www.orioles.com/captain. Game flow tonight. Orioles needing to come back. They had a lead in the first inning, 2-1. Tigers got out on top. The Orioles have come back. Got it tied up at 4-4, but in this inning the Tigers have added a 5th run to the board. Martinez 2-2. First base Davis. He's got it. So 1 run in on a couple of hits, no errors, and a base runner left on, and the D prevented it from being more than 1. Great job by Hardy.
J.J. Hardy show starting off the game. Low liner to left, 2-run homer in the first inning, getting the Orioles on the board. And almost a carbon copy in the 5th for number 2 of the afternoon. Guerrero joining the party with an RBI single. Welcome back to the offense. And Andy Dirks has had a big night for the Tigers. Drives in the go-ahead run. So J.J. Hardy, 3rd multiple home run game of the season. Andy Dirks for Detroit, 3 for 3, double RBI and a run scored. Wilson Benedict, 2-run homer in the 4th. Tigers lead 5-4.
Bottom of the 6th inning. Here's Waiters. Talking about the Hardy home runs. Last year, Hardy had a home run every 57 times to the plate. This year, a home run every 16 times to the plate. It is the 3rd biggest jump this year, as Drupal Cabrera has the biggest jump, followed by Melky Cabrera and then J.J. Hardy. Making notes in the diary.
So Jim Presley will take a note of that.
That's right.
3rd, he said.
Pitch is down low. Wieters, Davis, and Andino due up. Wieters had a double in his last at bat. He is also flied out. 3 hits in 12 at bats this year against the Tigers. Orioles with the 2-1 edge against Detroit in the season series. 2-1 delivery to him. Wieters down to first base. Cabrera. Major League Baseball announcing their postseason schedule. We're not going to go into November unless we have a lot of rainouts. American League Division Series is going to start September 30th. There's only going to be a day off between the end of the regular season and the start of the Division Series. Jimmy Leland is on his way out, and Brad Penny is too. So Penny will leave, having worked 5 1/3 innings in the ball game. Pretty good job. 4 runs on 7 hits, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. And the Tigers bullpen now will go to work. Season NFL Sunday ticket is included at no extra charge when you switch. Call 1-800-DIRECT-TV. From on high, warming up out of the bullpen, the lefty, Phil Coke.
Yeah, who started the season in the starting rotation for the Detroit Tigers. 30th appearance on the year. See, 1-8, 1-7 as a starter. Back to the bullpen, ERA 4.76, approaching 5. You see the 90 innings of work, 104 hits. Walks and strikeouts, I guess about even. Not a very good ratio for the left-hander. Won a lot of games out of the bullpen. Had a lot of appearances last year for the Tigers. Over 70 the last couple of years. So back in a role probably better suited for.
Out of Sonora, California, 29 years old. First year, complete year with the Tigers last year. Here's Chris Davis. As Jimmy Leyland's going for the matchups. One down, nobody on in the bottom of the 6th inning. And Davis will take the pitch inside for a ball. For Brad Penny, 5 1/3 innings. It seemed like it was more than that. He did a good job. I mean, 4 runs, 7 hits, nothing spectacular, but able to hold the Orioles down and give the Tigers a chance to have the lead as they do 5-4.
Yeah, he was able to stay out of the big inning. Probably just wishes J.J. Hardy would have taken the night off. Would have been a whole lot better.
Yeah. Chris Davis has had the big numbers against left-handers. 9 for 29, hitting .310. Almost 100 points higher than he has against right-handers. 1 ball, 1 strike count. And Davis will take the bender outside, 2-1. Two ball, 1 strike delivery. And that'll skip and hit in the dirt. Koga has not been particularly effective of late. Last 5 outings, he's given up 3 runs in 4 innings on 8 hits. Just a disaster in that starting role Mike was talking about. That 1-7 record and a ERA, which actually at 4.82 isn't all that bad in this day and age, but the results weren't very good. 3 ball, 1 strike delivery. And right through that one. 3-2.
High fastball. 92-mile-an-hour fastball from Phil Coke. 3-1, challenging him up middle. Little late movement.
Davis, 3-2, 1 away. Tell you about the postseason. The World Series now is due to end on October 27. That would be Game 7. Last year, it could have gone into November. Not going to be very much time off from the end of the season. 1 day to the start of the division series, and then during the series, the days off are only going to be travel days. And he got him a called strike 3. Coke gets the strikeout. Your favorite birds are back with their favorite dogs and cats in the 2012 Orioles Pet Calendar presented by Southwest Airlines. 15-month calendar you can get to benefit the Baltimore Animal Rescue and Care Shelter. To get your calendar, 888-848-BIRD, or go to Orioles.com. Buck's been the wire terrier tonight. At least according to the home plate umpire.
Yeah, he's been wired into Marty Foster's ear. Always can get the umpire's attention. Amazing how they can figure out they know your voice. They don't even have to look. You know, some managers' voice really carries. Some does not.
Here's Andino. He'll foul it back.
I can remember Joe Altobelli yelling at the umpire, and he couldn't hear him. I mean, his voice didn't carry from me to you.
That had to make
it. Did you see his lip? I guess he was his lips moving over there. So we'd yell for Joe from the dugout. We'd go, he said it. Throw him out. Don't throw me out. Earl's had a voice. They could hear Earl's voice from center field.
Andino off the end of the bat. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Chirping, as it's called, is a strategy developed over time.
Chirping? Oh, yeah.
From the dugout.
Rabbit ears, what they talk about. The umpire has big ears. He can hear everything you say.
Many managers say nothing at all, and then there's Ozzie Guillen. The 1-2 delivery, and he went around. The home plate umpire making the call. That may get some more chirping going, as Andino didn't think he had swung. So Koch comes on and gets a couple of strikeouts. It remains 5-4 Tigers. Jeremy Guthrie will be taking the mound. Matt Scherzer will be the opponent. Our coverage on MASN 2 HD 630 with those extra, presented by Verizon Wireless, followed by our game coverage at 7. All the access you need right here on MASN. I think Max Scherzer went back to the hotel. A couple of innings ago, Jimmy Leyland had summoned him to his side, and the next thing you know, he was going down the tunnel and looked like he was leaving. I don't know that for sure, but looked like Jimmy was saying, why don't you go
home,
get some rest. Here's Johnny Peralta. Peralta is 0 for 3. Remember a Mets game in Atlanta, that famous July 4 game where there were 1,800 rain delays and whatever. It was 4 o'clock in the morning before it finished. Extra innings. It was a disaster. Ron Darling was scheduled to pitch the next day. Ronnie went back to the hotel at about 9 o'clock. Davey Johnson sent him back. At 1 o'clock, he came back to the ballpark.
Took a nap and came back.
He'd been watching the game.
Yeah.
It was going on and on. Everybody was running out of players, including pitchers. So Ronnie said, I may have to work tonight. So he came back to the ballpark.
And that's the thing. We didn't really talk a lot about what sent him ahead and get his rest. You know, I always said, I'll stay with the club. You know, I just stay with the guys. It's just
into the Bermuda Triangle, but manageable for Jones. He's got it. Peralta's retired, 1 away, 7th inning. Amazing part of that game was Atlanta ran out of pitchers, so Rick Camp had to hit in the 15th inning. Yep, that's what he did. Danny Heap was playing in left, last outfielder available. I'll never forget watching. He never turned around on the fly ball to left. Heap said words that are not repeatable in any decent society. And the ball went in the stands, tied the game up off Rick Camp. 1-0 delivery and a little chopper to the first base side. Patton will make the flip, gets the out. Guillen is retired, 2 down. Avila's had to do this a couple of times. He's come to the plate where a couple of quick outs have been recorded, and he's kind of meandered outside the box waiting to just try and not make it too quick of an inning. Pitch is outside. He's had a real fine night. He walked and scored in the second inning, singled and scored in the fourth, and then doubled and was stranded in the fifth.
He's had a big year against the Orioles. Go back to an opening series in Game 3 of that series. Had a double, single, a home run, 3 RBIs.
On the season for Avila now, he has picked up 6 hits and 12 at bats, including 2 home runs.
Yeah, doing it usually out of the 8th or 9th spot in the lineup.
Troy Patton with a 2-0 delivery, and that's going to be to first, and another fine play. The flashing of the leather tonight repeatedly. Davis got it. Our 7th inning stretch brought to you by Jack Daniels Tennessee Honey. Fly straight. Drink responsibly. Lineup Suzuki, the power of engineering. It's about the Tigers' ability to bounce back tonight. Orioles have had the lead in this game. They've gotten it tied up as well, but the Orioles have not been able to hang on to that lead. The Tigers are up, and in this one, the bullpen being asked again to go deep and go effectively.
And once again, the bullpen's doing a good job, but it really has been more about the defense, I think, tonight. You know, Chris Davis, J.J. Hardy in the infield, Markakis and Wright have saved a few runs already, kept this game close. That's the thing about maybe the last week or so, playing a lot of close and one-run games. So it's real important that they continue to get this kind of pitching.
We've talked about the ability to focus at this point of the year for a team in the Orioles situation. Sometimes that lacks, and if it does, it shows up on defense. We are not seeing that happening.
No, exactly. There's been some team pride, I would say, in the overall defense. But at the same time, you know, Markakis would like to end the season with 20 assists, and Jones the same. So I think you can always add in some personal goals along the way, and you're still going about trying to win.
Well, we'll see how it goes tonight. Showalter's 9 are down by a run as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Top of the order, Nolan Reimold in the leadoff spot as he had the 3-for-3 against the Tigers starter Brad Penny. He is 0-for-2 in the game. He did draw a walk in the first inning and scored on J.J. Hardy's first of 2 home runs in the ballgame. Faces the left-hander. Koch stays on. He struck out Davis and Andino to end the 6th inning. Reimold hitting at .221 on the season, and that will be nubbed off the end of the bat foul. Reimold against the left-handers, .233, .218 off righties coming into the game. Crowd of 21,465, 21,465 on hand for a ball game. And a chopper to the middle. Peralta just gets him. Our Orioles upcoming schedule presented by Xfinity. The Tigers in for the weekend, then the Orioles off on the West Coast trip starting with Oakland. Catch all the action with Xfinity only from Comcast. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Get Xfinity today, 1-800-XFINITY. Fine place for a stogie at night. A little glass of that Jack Daniels right up there on top. And Bromo
It's a long climb. It's a long climb. No elevator.
No elevator. So you know you'll be alone.
You'll be there for a while.
Have the blimp come by and pick you up.
Throw me a ladder. Anchor the blimp to the Bromo Tower. You're all set.
J.J. Hardy, can he make it 3? 2 home runs, 22 and 23. Strikeout in the middle. Nope. Koch came right after him and gets the out.
And left-handers doing it. Phil Koch and Troy Patton for the Orioles.
Get maximum access to exclusive Orioles interviews plus special behind-the-scenes content available only through social media. Be the first to know when you like Masson on Facebook at facebook.com/MassonOrioles. It's content you can't miss. Just make sure you always hit the like button.
You learned that today.
I just learned that today.
You learn something every day.
Every day you should have something that you didn't know about yesterday. A lot of it will be meaningless, but if you're
going to become the master of minutia, it's the only way to do it.
Here's Nick Markakis. He is 0 for 3 in the ballgame. 2 down. Here's the 0-1 from Koch. Last night I learned something I didn't know. The bartender cited the first 10 lines of Homer's Odyssey in Greek.
In Greek. How did you know?
And we Googled it.
Oh, you Googled it.
In Greek. And he was absolutely right. He had it down pat. Here's the 1-1 delivery. Fouled away. I said, give me another one in English. That ended the Greek discussion.
Pretty good.
1 ball, 2 strike count. He was really funny. He said, I had the choice when I was going to college. Either I was going to go into Greek literature or I could have gone into computers, and I figured computers was going to be a fad.
A dying fad, yes. Another good choice.
Thus, he said, I'm bartending. And the count goes to 2-2. Markakis with a 5-game hit streak, not extended yet in this ball game. 5-4 lead for the Tigers in the bottom of the 7th. Nick has continually gotten that number up against left-handed pitchers. That'll be grounded down to first, short hopped. Cabrera will take it to the bag. Very effective inning for Koch. 7 complete here at Camden Yards. Tigers remain on top by 1.
Markakis in the 4th. 1-hop throw to Wieters. Nice sweep tag. Helps him get out of that inning. Chris Davis also an outstanding play at first base. And then in the sixth, back-to-back plays by Hardy. One to third base, and Reynolds, very next play, robbing Cabrera, keeping the Tigers at bay, even though down by a run. Outstanding overall team defense tonight.
Now the Orioles hoping they can take advantage of that D and get a W in the ball game. We go to the 8th inning. Troy Patton remains on. And Betterman, the number 9 hitter. He's had a big night. He's got a 5-game hit streak. 2 for 3 tonight with a single, and Betterman has delivered the long ball. 5 home runs on the season. The third baseman. Brandon Inge, when the season started, was playing at third. We went back and looked at the starting lineup for these two teams. Brian Roberts was playing in the ball game in that first series here at Camden Yards for the Orioles, was against the Tigers. Lineups, Will Rhymes was playing at second base for the Tigers at that point, otherwise about the same. And for the Orioles, Brian Roberts had been in the leadoff spot. Derek Lee, of course, is playing. That'll go to the hole. That's a base hit. So Betterman has a 3-hit ball game and a leadoff single in the 8th. Time to text in your vote for the AT&T Player of the Game. Tough choices. Hardy with a couple of home runs. Great D we showed you. Adam Jones, he's delivered a couple of hits, a run, and some fine center field work. And Wilson Betterman, who's now got a 3-hit ball game and a couple of RBIs and a homer. Text in your vote, A, B, or C, to 518-62. Austin Jackson, he too a strong game. Double, single, sac fly, and a beautiful bunt. Patton will go ahead and make the shovel pass to Davis. It's a sacrifice, moving Betterman down to second base.
Yeah, 12th sacrifice of the year. That's something Jackson used to doing.
Just drawn onto the roster today, Willie Ayer, called up from AAA. Patton came on in the 5th inning to get the final out. He has given up 1 run on 3 hits since coming into the ball game. Andy Dirks got a perfect night at the plate. 2 singles, a double, a walk, a run scored, and an RBI. And he's just filling in. Bosch out of the lineup in left field.
Trying to seize an opportunity.
Yep. Into the kitchen that time. He gets out of the way of it, and a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Dirks, Kansas born and raised, and still lives there. Only his 4th year of pro ball. Again, to make sure, with a runner at second base on the signs, Wieters goes out to talk to Patton. He moved up from AA, AAA last year. He hit .375 in 22 games in AAA last year, then started AAA this year and has made the move to the big club.
An 8th round pick in 08.
1-1 delivery and a good one by Patton, 1-2.
With the 1-1 pitch. Cut fastball.
Troy Patton seems to be finding himself.
He seems very comfortable.
Yeah.
He had a few of those trips where he'd come up and wait and do the insurance policy.
Long run. Hardy, Reimold, neither. Throw to third. Not going to get him. Betterman had to wait. He was halfway. And Dirks will get the base hit in a 4-hit game and 5 times on.
Yeah, well placed. Just flip towards left. No chance to get the runner at third.
That'll be the first 4-hit game at the major league level for Dirks. And that will chase Patton out of the ball game in order to get the matchups with Ordonez coming to the plate. And we'll see Willie Ayer for the first time. 5-4 Tigers lead at top of the 8th inning. They've got a chance to add to it here in the 8th. Be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles.
Well, Willie Air will make his first appearance in an Oriole uniform. 43 appearances on the year, AAA, 5-5 record, about low 3 ERA. As the usual assortment, he's been around, been playing for Pace since 1999, 32 years old.
And a key moment in the ball game. 15 hits are now on the board. Patton a good job in relief, responsible for the runners at first and third, and Maglio Ordonez with 1 out. And the pitch is in there for a strike.
That's like welcome to the big leagues. Here comes Ordonez, Cabrera, and Martinez.
Ordonez has a single, flied out, hit into a 9-2 double play, and it hit into a fielder's choice in a real fine play by Hardy. Just missed the uniform. 1 ball, 1 strike count.
When you first get back to the big leagues, and there's a tendency to overthrow. That one at 94 takes off. Also has a splitter.
Really want that ground ball right here to try and get a double play. Fastball that time is up high. And a 2 ball, 1 strike count on Ordonez. Not putting up big numbers this year, but still a dangerous hitter.
Still a professional hitter.
Yep.
Good right field hitter.
2-1 delivery to him. Ordonez the other way, foul. Air will get the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Major league totals for him: 92 games, 5 wins, 6 losses, 145 major league innings pitched. 2-2 delivery, and inside and got him.
I'm not sure if it's a 2-seamer or a splitter. A real awkward swing by Ordonez over the top of it. It's really tied him up. Good pitch.
And a big 2 outs now. Runners remain at first and third. Betterman, the lead runner, got a single to start it out. Dirks, a single, is on at first base. Now Cabrera. Inside to him for a ball. Cabrera with 2 singles, intentional pass, and has hit into a fielder's choice. One 1-0 count. As any pitcher worth his salt would say, that's just a strike.
You have to get used to it, though. You know, when you have these hitters like Cabrera. I remember coming up in the minor leagues and some big strong hitter in Double A. I'm going to throw him my best fastball. There's no way, and he pulled one 550 feet foul, and I go, uh-oh.
Now what?
I'm going to have to throw something else. But you're right, you do get used to it. It's just a long strike. You know where the happy zone is. Just try to stay away from it.
1 ball, 1 strike count. Jones. Good job. As Air comes on, it gets 2 big outs here in the 8th inning. So it will remain a 1-run ball game as the Tigers lead 2 more on base, 5-4 Detroit. Blue Cross Blue Shield is contributing $50 to the Living Classroom Foundation. 318 walks, $15,900. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle. Deeper into the bullpen go the Tigers.
Yeah, Joaquin Benoit will come out of the bullpen. 49th appearance for the veteran. He's now 33 years of age. 49th appearance for the Tigers. 3-3 record. 44 innings, 42 hits. Not quite the numbers he had that year a couple of years ago with Tampa Bay, which was phenomenal. That year had 60 innings pitched, 30 hits allowed, and 75 strikeouts. But still, always had outstanding stuff. Fastball, an outstanding split finger.
Defensive replacement Don Kelly will move into right field for Maglio Ordonez, who comes out of the ball game. And Adam Jones in a one-run game in the bottom of the 8th inning to lead it off. Jones, Guerrero, and Reynolds. Adam with a 2-hit game, 2 for 3, a double, a single, and a run scored. Guerrero drove him home in the 5th inning. Hardy, the 2 RBI homer in the 1st and a solo shot in the 5th, accounting for 3 of the 4 RBIs. Benoit has been particularly effective against right-handers. They're hitting only .208 off him. The left-handers are hitting .310. That is by the book. Benoit, the 0-1 delivery. And Jones threw it, 0-2.
And he is one of the slower working pitchers in the league. Takes his time. Long setup.
Jones is 1 for 5 off Benoit. Seen in those years with Tampa Bay, particularly last year where he was so good. Here's the 0-2 delivery, and Jones takes it on a bouncer that was inside.
Yeah, missed the entire 09 season. Underwent surgery, repair torn rotator cuff. Not the usual Tommy John surgery. Rotator cuff. A little bit more delicate surgery. Seems to have bounced back.
1 ball, 2 strike count on Adam Jones. Outfield deep, trying to cut off any gappers. 1-2 delivery. Jones in the air. That is deep. Way back, center field. Going back, Jackson at the wall. And he made the catch! Austin Jackson prevents the game from being tied as he robs Adam Jones.
Hard to keep a smile off his face. Gets a great jump on this. He was going to be close. At least a couple of feet over the wall. Outstanding timing by Austin Jackson. That's just a great shot.
Here's Vladimir Guerrero. That's the one that would have tied the ball game up. So all the defensive plays we've shown you that the Orioles have made tonight, and maybe the biggest one is right there in the ball game as Jones, bidding for a homer and a tie game, is robbed by Jackson. Guerrero with a 1-strike count. RBI base hit, reached on an error, and he has grounded out. Here's the 0-1. Adam knows what that feels like. He's done that to a few hitters himself.
Center fielder to center fielder. I'm sure there'll be some eye contact as the Orioles take the field. I'm sure Adam's saying, I should have hit it out of his reach.
Benoit with a 2-strike count on Guerrero. And that'll be a base hit into left field. Doing what Vladdy's done, made a career of it. Those pitches out of the strike zone that he can put in play. Meet the Orioles, Kevin Gregg, tomorrow. It's the grand reopening of the newly remodeled AT&T store. It'll be in the festival at Woodholm Shopping Center on Registertown Road in Pikesville. Kevin will be on hand noon until 1 tomorrow, signing autographs and meeting fans. That's at the AT&T store in Pikesville. For details, go to OriolsReach.com, and there is Kevin Gregg in the pen. Here's Mark Reynolds, one down. Benoit gets it in for a strike. Reynolds seeing the right-hander for the first time. Guerrero on at first base. Orioles 8 hits in the game, 15 for the Tigers. And the slider will miss outside. Troy Patton, good job in relief, 2 2/3 innings. Charged with the 1 run, 4 hits. Didn't walk anybody, struck out 1. 1-1 delivery. Koch did a good job for Detroit. He pitched an inning and 2/3, struck out 3, gave up nothing.
Yeah, good relief on both sides of the ledger. Outstanding defense on both sides.
Guerrero with the lead at first base, being held by Cabrera. And the 2-1 delivery, and Reynolds went around. This couldn't hold himself up on that one.
I didn't want to pull the trigger. That's his check saying committed, then tries to stop it.
Pitch has got a lot of movement on it.
Yeah, he has good, always had great stuff. Great splitter.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 away. Benoit missing away, so the count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Crowd has seen a real good ball game when neither team has been able to just grab onto a big enough lead to know they're all right. 11 have been left on by the Tigers. Orioles have stranded just 5. Brad Penny, the starter, 5 1/3, 4 runs, 7 hits for the Tigers. Still the pitcher of record for them. And the 3-2 delivery, runner not going, and that'll be fouled back into the seats.
Mark Reynolds getting a fastball, just a little too quick. Jose Valverde's got a streak of consecutive saves working, already ready in the pen for the Tigers.
Full count delivery will come again to Mark Reynolds. Guerrero at first base with 1 down, not going anywhere. And Reynolds, a ground ball to second base. Guillen, Peralta, and there's the double play. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on base. So the Tigers bullpen continues to get the job done and protects that 1-run lead. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates. And by Budweiser, official beer of the thirst inning. Great times on deck. Grab some Buds. So the Orioles hoping hold Detroit, and then in the bottom of the ninth inning, to get it tied up or keep it going.
Absolutely. Beautiful shot of downtown. You left your lights on in your apartment.
That wouldn't be new. Here's Victor Martinez. Direct TV blimp shots tonight. Couldn't have a better night to be up there. Some great views. Martinez will take it up high for a ball. Willie Ayer on in relief. Got the 2 outs in the 8th inning. Peralta and Guillen to follow in the top of the 9th. Tigers 17-13 in one-run games. The Orioles are 14-12. We have a one-run ball game at least at the moment. And a 2-0 count on Martinez. Martinez with 5 hits in 17 at-bats against the Orioles this year, including 1 home run. Overall at .318 on the year. And he goes to left field and right at Reimold. And 1 out in the 9th inning. Follow the Orioles with the MLB.com at Bat 2011 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. Score, stats, highlight, live audio, pitch-by-pitch tracking. You can even check in at home games, win prizes, or upgrade your seats. Text at Bat 31826 or go to Orioles.com. Peralta's got an 0 for 4. 4-game hit streak for him. He's had only 1 hit and 11 at-bats against the Orioles on the year. And Johnny Peralta not particularly pleased with that call on the high strike. Tied for 6th starting the day. .314 batting average in the American League. That will go to center. Jones back and then in. 2 down.
Yeah, doing a good job going through the middle of the Tiger lineup. Pretty good stuff. Fastball, an outstanding splitter in command of it.
But Showalter said that Ayer had been offered a deal by the Orioles prior to the season. Orioles tried to sign him up and could not reach an agreement. But here he is, making his Oriole debut on the 12th of August. 1 strikeout, 2 down. Guillen, an 0 for 4. You have needed a roster this year in order to keep track for the Orioles. Pitch will come way inside. Ayer is the 19th player to make his debut with the Orioles this year.
Almost a full squad.
And of late, it seems as though it's every other day. Tillman being sent down after the ball game last night. One ball, 1 strikeout, 2 down, 9th inning. Guillen. Take it up high. Showalter, after sending down Tillman during the press conference before the game today, an interesting statement about pitchers. Just said, you know, you got to get it done up here.
I said we're not going to lower our standards.
It's not good enough. We're not going to keep it going. 2-1 delivery is going to be taken away. Guillen with a 3-ball, 1 strike count.
I was talking about him. Maybe somebody else will get an opportunity next time. You know, maybe you only get so many chances to be the first one to get the chance.
There with a 3-1 delivery, and he will walk him. So Guillen draws a 2-out walk in the 9th inning. Listen to Buck Showalter talking about that before the game today.
No, we're not going to lower our standards about what needs to be done here to be a pitcher up here in the big leagues. You know, just, you know, and I don't think anybody's. I think last night's as much a reason because of the need we have in the bullpen. And I'm not saying if Berge had finished the game, we wouldn't have made the move. But there's certain things we have to do here, to have a chance.
Wow. Unbelievable. Davis at first base. And we go to the bottom of the ninth. Now a little offense for all this D. There's your line through the 8.5, and if the Orioles indeed are going to have that big bottom of the ninth inning, they're going to have to break the streak of the closer for the Tigers.
Yeah, that they will, and it's his 54th appearance on the year. Having another outstanding year is Jose Valverde, 2-3 record, ERA below 3, and you see there 33 out of 33 saves, 50 innings, 38 hits, 26 walks, and 46 strikeouts for the veteran. Made the All-Star team for his second year in a row. And third time he has been selected over his career. Leads the American League in saves with 33. And he has already broken that what Guillermo Hernandez record for consecutive saves for the Tigers, going back to 94, the great season of 94 by the Tigers.
Take a look at that play that ended the top of the ninth inning.
You can see Willie Air on the mound. Doesn't even know where the ball is. Nice diving play by Davis. Just calmly tags him and heads for the dugout.
Everything defensively the Orioles could do to be in this ball game has been in this ball game. Ramon Santiago will play second base. Guillen is out as we go to the bottom of the ninth. And for the Orioles, Matt Wieters will lead it off. And the pitch by Valverde is in there for a strike. Valverde did not pitch in the 3-game series in Detroit. It's his 10th game against the Orioles lifetime. 1 loss, 4 saves, 3 runs on 10 hits and 8 total innings worked in his career against the O's. Valverde with that unusual set position and the 0-1 delivery to Wieters.
Yeah, very animated follow through on the mound. He doesn't have a connection with the Orioles. A couple of his uncles played professional. Jose Mercedes, I think some fans will remember that name. Played with the Brewers in 94 and 98 and the Orioles in 2000 and 01. That's another uncle, Carlos Mercedes, played in the minor leagues.
The 1-1 delivery on the way. Wieters will take it down low. Valverde demonstrably slow. Every move, every step is done with great effort. But effectively so. 2 ball, 1 strike count. Outfield very deep. Wieters will take the pitch away, and he's got a 3-ball, 1-strike count. Davis waiting on deck. And it would be Andino, bottom third of the order for the Orioles in the bottom of the 9th inning. Three-ball, 1-strike count. Wieters with a double, 1 for 3 in the game, and he gets a big leadoff walk. Updating you on the voting for the AT&T Player of the Game. The results so far, you can still text in your vote A, B, or C. 51862. Results on the O's Extra post-game show. Felix P.A. will come on to run for Wieters here in the 9th inning. Valverde gives up that leadoff walk.
Yeah, we talked about it last night when that closer or the pitcher pitching the 9th inning in a close game, that first hitter gets on, you can really feel it change, momentum shift, that you're going to have a chance. Again, this is against a pitcher that has not blown a save in 33 out of 33 attempts.
Here's Davis has an 0 for 3. Valverde fell down. And got a strike.
I think as long as you fall down after you let it go. Take a look at this follow through. It's that little hop.
I don't know if he thought PA was going to run and he was ducking for his catcher or what. Here's the 0-1 delivery. The interesting thing about Valverde is the fact he has not been particularly good at getting first batters out. Only first batters retired. It's now 35 out of 54. That's a lot of leadoff batters for a closer to be putting on base. A 2-strike count on Chris Davis. Davis 0 for 3 off him. PA at first base is running. Swung on a miss. Throw down. Not in time. So PA, the potential tying run in the bottom of the 9th, gets to second base on the swinging strikeout for Davis.
And you can see the high leg kick by Valverde gives PA plenty of time to get down easily to second base.
PA now 3 out of 5 stealing bases. Infield meeting. Santiago just came into play second, checking. Make sure he's got the signs down and the coverage. Andino coming up is 0 for 3 in the game. Andino will face Valverde, against whom he is 0 for 1. Betterment is even with the bag at third. Back at short and second. They'll hold PA very close. Santiago will move over to the bag, giving Andino virtually that whole right side of the infield. Cabrera now will take 3 steps over towards second. In the air to center. Jackson. PA will tag. He will go to third. There are 2 down. Orioles have been within a matter of inches of getting this ball game tied up or taking the lead. And a great catch by Jackson to rob Jones of a home run that would have tied it up.
Yeah, and that one hit about 405 feet. Unfortunately, it's 410 to the fence. Now by getting to third base, though, it puts a little bit more pressure on Valverde. He has that forkball splitter combination. Be worried about a ball in the dirt.
Valverde has 5 wild pitches on the year. Nolan Reimold in the leadoff spot, trying to get this ball game tied up.
What it may do is buy Reimold a fastball.
That is in there for a strike. Can he repeat Wednesday?
Up middle of the plate. That one there just carbon copy. Right into the White Sox bullpen.
Reimold is facing Valverde for the first time. Patton, the pitcher of record for the Orioles. Penny, the starter for the Tigers. Here's the 0-1 delivery, and Reimold will take it outside. 1-1. Valverde's a theater unto himself, isn't he?
Yes.
You can't help but watch all the machinations he goes through on his way to getting a save.
He draws all the attention to himself. As you said, an extremely slow worker.
1 ball, 1 strike count. PA off third base. Reimold, strike call, 1-2.
And that was a good pitch. Low at 96. He's had a couple of fastballs to hit. Take a look at this pitch by Valverde.
That moved right back in on the plate, didn't it?
Yep.
One ball, 2 strikes. And it's over. And Valverde, in his own unique way, celebrates his 34th consecutive save. Penny wins it, 8-9. Patton will take the loss, and game 1 goes to the Tigers. Another 1-run ball game as the Orioles fall to 14-13 in 1-run games. Game 2 of the series tomorrow. Jeremy Guthrie on the mound against Matt Scherzer. Coverage begins 6:30 on Masson 2 HD with those extra presented by Verizon Wireless. Our game at 7. For Mike Flanagan and all of our great crew here at Camden Yards, I'm Gary Thorne. Thanks everybody for being with us. It is a 5-4 Tigers win. How it came down.